You're in Braves country. like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the bubble. Really, this is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country. If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate. Please remain standing. We call your attention to our bands here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture, our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball! At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Good afternoon, Braves country. As we are just past the noon hour here on Braves Country Radio, and we'll make these pretty short and sweet as we head into the Colorado Rockies series. The Braves won their first road series. It always feels better if you win the last game of the series, but when it's all said and done, we won the series. And Schwellenbach didn't look good. They kind of addressed it after the game. There's not a whole lot to listen to, but essentially what they said was he had a bad outing. And, okay, I get that. But at the same token, he's had a few bad outings or sub-Schwellenbach outings. So I am a little concerned, but I'm not ready to push the panic button yet. But if you just look at what he has done here in 2025, it started off with a bang, and then since then, he's kind of trickled off. And I honestly think that it's just location. I also say something, too, to all the pitching that went on this weekend. We talked about this on the show on Friday. It was a very pitcher-friendly park. It always has been. It's got to do with the fact that even when the roof is open, it's always been a pitcher-friendly park. One of the things that a lot of the batters say is that the batter's eye is just very good. So you see the ball very well. It's also got weird caverns like down there in right field. And it's a spacious outfield, so there's a lot of room to cover. So the outfielders are kind of like this series that we're about to head into with Colorado. When you've got extra real estate, it's not like Truist Park. Truist Park is a very average-sized park as far as the width of the outfield. You would think that Major League Baseball would make at least the width of the outfield even across the board, no matter where you're at, but that's just not the way it was done from the very beginning. And as they have opened more and more new stadiums, honestly, I don't think you'll ever get that. That's part of the charm of baseball, is the fact that you have guys going into different parks having to deal with the different dimensions, and it's not a cookie cutter. It's not like the NBA. It's not like the NFL, college football. All the dimensions are the same. That's what makes baseball the best sport there is. But when we look at what Schwellenbach has done this year, and we're going game by game on this, the first game was against San Diego, 6 innings, no earned runs, just 1 hit. He only struck out 4. That's a really good lineup. Then he goes up against Miami, he flat out dominates. 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, 2 hits. Since that outing against Miami, and I don't think it's because he went 8 innings, because he's had plenty of time to get plenty of rest since then. But since that game, and remember, Miami's offense is not good. It's terrible. So he dominated Miami's offense. He did a great job against San Diego, but it also was, the second game of the season? And when you look at that big picture, let's be honest, or was that might have been the third game of the season. Regardless, pitching's always in front of the offense. The offense starts catching up with pitching into mid to late April because guys start getting their groove, their swing. So very beginning of the season, pitching always dominates Major League Baseball. That's across the board. Then he goes up against Philadelphia, and he pitched a damn good game. That's why I didn't think there was going to be any issues with Schwellenbach. I was thinking borderline Cy Young type of run. And then he fell apart in Toronto. He went 4 2/3, 6 earned runs. And I felt like that they left him in too long. They were trying to squeeze out that extra inning out of him out there in Toronto, and he just didn't have his best stuff. He bounced back against St. Louis, 7 and 2 earned runs, but St. Louis is not a very good offense, and he only struck out 5. That's the biggest thing that concerns me with him, is that what he has been so dominant since he's come up with the major leagues, he's had a very high strikeout rate. It has not been the case his last 1, 2, 3, 4 starts. And then yesterday, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Outside the Toronto game, his worst outing. And I will give him some props, though. He didn't have his best stuff, and he found a way to get through 6 innings. And we almost came back and won that game. And it just shows you how good the offense really is, that the Braves continue to work themselves in and find a way to get themselves into position to win these games late because the offense keeps plucking away. But as far as Schwellenbach, I just think where we're at right now, and it could just be the sophomore slump, but teams are seeing him more and more, so they're getting a better game plan against him, and he's going to have to refine. He's going to have to adjust. I think he will. I think he's got great stuff, and he definitely has the bulldog mentality that you love in a starting pitcher. But he just hasn't had a great outing here since basically, we'll say the Philly start, because really, once again, St. Louis is such an outlier. He gave up 2 runs, and that's not terrible. And he remember, he didn't have good stuff then. He only struck out 5 through 7, which with Schwellenbach, look, the umpires were pinching Schwellenbach and the rest of the starting pitchers all weekend long, but Arizona was dealing with the same thing. I felt like that we were getting a little worse to wear, but at the same token, if I was a Diamondbacks fan, I may not feel that way. It was just the eye of the beholder. It felt like every big situation we were starting off in the hole because of a bad call, whether we were pitching or we were hitting. So anyway you look at it, both teams were dealing with, man, I'll tell you what, yesterday, Clint Vondrick, he was especially bad. And when you look at that blown call that he had at the beginning of the game, the very beginning of the game, where he came in and he called Verdugo out at home plate. First of all, he was safe for those of y'all who didn't catch it. We challenged it, and we still didn't get overturned because the way they worded it was basically saying they didn't feel like they had enough video evidence to overturn it. And I get that. But it was a bad call and maybe a little bit of bad luck because it was such a close play. And Vondrick, the way he had positioned himself, he was a little blocked out of position. I've never understood why they've told umpires to stand where they stand on a play at the plate coming from that angle. I've always felt like that they should be off to the left shoulder, but that's how they're trained. He didn't do it incorrectly, but he did miss the call. But anyways you look at it, the Atlanta Braves got, I'm not going to say subpar, but considering who their starters were, they got average at best starting pitching this weekend. Sale only went 5 fought his way to get through 5. The Braves came roaring back, and the offense really put a stamp on that game and pushed the game out late, so it looks like a very impressive 8-2 victory, but that's not what it was when Sale left. And the other thing is Game 2, the Saturday night game, another seesaw affair. Offense kept punching back, finding a way. They almost did it again last night, but then the bullpen late, Bummer had a bad outing, but all in all, Bummer's been good. These guys are not going to be perfect when they come out, but it gets magnified because when they come out of the bullpen, they come out for that one inning, and they come out for that one inning late. And so if they had a bad inning in the second or third, like a starter would have, you kind of gloss over and go, yeah, but he's through 6 really good innings. If a reliever does the same thing, goes out and has, we'll say, 5 outings, and one of them's bad late, and you feel like it cost you the game, everybody's ready to call him a bum, and he's terrible and whatnot. All in all, Aaron Bummer's done a very good job. For anyone that tells you differently, they just don't know the game. That's all I can tell you on that. And the bullpen in general is starting to get stronger. But let's go ahead and see what do we have here. That was the snit happens. I didn't hit the sound bite, but that's what it was. We got the loss. It is what it is. And now let's go with a little smoke 'em if you got 'em.
What's all the shouting?
All right, so the matchups for today, and that's really all. Now, I do think we're going to see some moves during this Colorado series. We may get one today. Once again, if you're hearing this on replay, we do this at noon live here on Braves Country Radio, and we do it the beginning of every single series going into the first series. So the first game of every series. As far as the matchups for this series, we'll scroll this up just a little bit so you can see it just a little better. I'm not going to go too far because I don't want you to start looking ahead at the Dodger series because we'll do that on Friday. We've got Elder versus Feltner tonight. I would say that's about a push. Braves will be favored in every one of these games because their roster top to bottom is better. But if you're looking at the starting pitching, Elder versus Feltner. Feltner's a pretty good pitcher. He truly is. And he's a guy that the Braves have seen in the past and have had some struggles with. But all in all, Ryan Feltner is a guy that is coming in to today. And, of course, he's at home, too, so he's got the advantage of knowing how to pitch in that park. But he's coming in with a 3.86 ERA versus Bryce Elder's 5.57. Bryce Elder gutted it out last Wednesday and actually had a pretty good start. But because Bryce Elder does not strike out a ton of batters, and he has to be very precise to get guys out, the Colorado air is going to be a problem because every pitcher that goes up there says the ball just doesn't spin the same way because of the lack of humidity and because you're technically almost a mile high, and everything that goes on into the actual physics of it, the ball doesn't cut the same way. So the guys that have the best luck in Colorado are usually your power pitchers. A guy like a Schwellenbach, a Strider, they would have better chances because they're looking at the strikeout. We won't have any of those two guys in the series, so it is what it is. It's Elder right now for game 1. They haven't announced it, but I would guess it's A.J. Smith-Shawver for game 2. We'll probably get that announcement tonight because they'll probably wait to make an extra move at the end after tonight's game so they can fiddle with the bullpen and whatnot. But tonight it's Elder. Most likely tomorrow it'll be A.J. Smith-Shawver. And then you've got Chris Sale on Wednesday. And the only thing that concerns me about the Chris Sale thing on Wednesday is he's been struggling with the command. And once again, and he's going to be pitching in a day game. The first 2 pitchers are pitching in night games. It's going to be a little cool. And it's going to the Colorado air shouldn't make as much of a difference tonight and tomorrow night. It's more likely to play games with you on Wednesday, which is a day game. 3:10 first pitch, and I always get the mountain time zone confused, but that's either 1:10 or 12:10 this time of year because they don't adhere to daylight savings. But regardless, it's a day game, and it's supposed to be in the 70s, which means much more likely that Wednesday is going to be an issue. That Monday and Tuesday, you've got a better chance of the bullpen and the starting pitchers to, I'm not going to say they're going to be firing all cylinders, but they shouldn't have as much issue. But there will be an issue. There will still be an issue. But I'm just glad that for once we're not playing Colorado in the middle of July. Remember last year when we had the collapse in the last couple of innings in Colorado on that Sunday game? And it really sent the Braves into a spiral. It wrecked the bullpen, the whole 9 yards. I think y'all remember Luke Jackson was basically the villain in the whole thing. But anyway, you look at it, it's gonna be a fight to get through these next 3 games. But thankfully, we actually have a day off on Thursday. So whatever you do with your bullpen and your starting pitchers, you have an extra day built-in of rest to reset it. Because when we come home on Friday, and I don't like to look ahead, but you are inviting the most talented team in baseball, which is the Los Angeles Dodgers, for a 3-game set. But we've got to get through this game, and I hope they're not looking ahead and go, man, I can't wait to play the Dodgers. Can't wait to get back home, because the next thing you know, we will lose this series. Braves should win this series. And the way they've been playing, I would be shocked if they don't. I would love a sweep, but I always say you can't assume sweeps because it takes one starting pitcher to either pitch phenomenally above expectations or our starting pitcher to hit the skids. But if you want to win a series, to me, game 1's always imperative because it gives you so much more leeway, what you can do with your bullpen in games 2 and 3. The Braves are now 12-15, and that doesn't sound very great, but remember, we started off 0-7, and that's not nothing. So if you do the math on that and you take away the 0-7, then the Braves are 12-8, and that's pretty darn good. And they're in a run right now where you talk about winning 5 of 6 at home before we took off, and then win 2 of 3 on the road. So you've won 7 of 9, and that's really what you're looking at is how are you playing right now. They're playing very well. Very well. And I do believe today it's going to be a bit of a grind because the starting pitcher is Feltner. Feltner, he's a right-hander, 6'4", actually out of Orlando, Florida, played for Ohio State. But you look at what he's done this year, and he had a really bad game at the Dodgers. Who the hell doesn't have a bad game at the Dodgers? Other than that, he's pitched pretty darn well. First game of the season at Tampa, we know what kind of popcorn stand that place is. He went 5, gave up 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. The next game at home against the Athletics, who are much more improved roster this year than what we've seen the last few years, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Then he had a date against the Brewers on April 10th, and he went 6, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. So you see the theme. But he had the one outlier in Los Angeles on April 15th where he went 2 2/3, 5 earned runs, and got pelted. He bounced back the next game against Kansas City, and that's a good offense, Kansas City. And that's a hitter's park at Kauffman Stadium. And he went 7 innings, 1 earned run. So, 4 strikeouts. So, this is going to be a tough one. And this might be the game that decides whether or not you can go for that sweep, or heck, for that matter, win the series. Though they've only won 4-14, it's because their offense hasn't been very good. They're what, 4-23, 4-23. So this is a bad baseball team that we're facing, but tonight we're probably facing their ace, honestly. A lot of people will make other arguments for other guys, but like tomorrow night, Marquez, and German Marquez he was a big prospect, but he's got a 9.3 ERA. And that's the game that Smith-Shawver should be pitching against. And then on Wednesday, the sales looked bumpy. He's going up against a guy by the name of Dollander, who's 1-3 with the 7.91 ERA. So, my point is, if we can win this game tonight, anyway, by hook or by crook, doesn't matter how you get it, whether it's a pitcher's duel or it's a slugfest, you get the win tonight, you have a realistic shot, a very realistic shot of taking the next 2 games, which means the sweep. You lose the game tonight, the best thing you can do is win the series. And though that's not a terrible thing, I would still take a series win. But you get a little greedy when you start off 0-7 and you go up against a team who's 4-23, and you would prefer to go in there and sweep them. Colorado has a little bit of an advantage. Not only are they at home, but they were at home this weekend, so there's no travel for them. And so, but 4-23 is still 4-23. We need to make them 4-26 when we leave on Wednesday afternoon. Another quick reminder, Wednesday afternoon, after the game, I guess it'll be early Wednesday evening, we are going to do our first post-game show of the season and see how that goes. It's going to be free to watch on TikTok. If you want to watch it on YouTube, you're going to have to be a country club member, and we're not putting it up on Facebook because it's too big of a hassle to put stuff up on Facebook for that short of a show. It'll be a quick recap show, reaction show. We'll basically what we'll do on these is we'll come up a few minutes after the game ends and just enough time to start a new feed. And then at that point, we will answer any questions, comments, all that kind of stuff. That's basically what we'll do. Because we have called the game pitch by pitch, you know that we paid attention to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through that game, whether it's a win, lose, or draw, what the turning point of the game was. But they won't be terribly long. My goal is to do these for about 15 minutes. All right. By the way, Braves Country X on TikTok, the same thing as our X handle on X/Twitter. All right, the last one we're going to do, that's the rumor. This is about the prospects.
That's the rumor. You retired too?
Not me. I'm in my prime.
All right, so the Atlanta Braves, man, they still have it green. I don't know why they're doing that. I thought that was just for Earth Day, but I guess they've got it up there for the entire month. I'm not really understanding what MLB is doing. But anyways, the Atlanta Braves, taking a look at the prospects, there was a lengthy article that we kind of went through to just kind of pick out the major talking points. If you want to read the whole article, you would go to MLB.com. It's Mark Bowman that wrote it, so I do want to give credit where credit is due. But this is just trying to kind of check in with our pitching prospects and where we are at here on right at the end of April, right? So he no longer considers A.J. Smith-Shawver a prospect, and why should he? He's been up and down in the from the farm system to the major leagues enough and is assumed to be Tuesday's starter. There's no real reason to call him a prospect anymore. So let's start with the next guys. You got Cam Caminiti, who's the number 2 prospect in the system, but at the same token, and by the way, if you're wondering, A.J. Smith-Shawver, for all intents and purposes, would be the number 1 pitching prospect. But once again, he's going to be in the major league, so we're done calling him a prospect. Cam Caminiti is the number 2 prospect, and he was drafted by the Braves last year, 24th pick overall in the first round. He's an 18-year-old. He is far and away before he becomes a major leaguer. But they did say that he dealt with some arm discomfort in spring training, so they've been building up his arm strength slowly because they're not in a hurry, because you're not going to take an 18-year-old pitcher and put him in the major leagues unless you are just flat out on the white horse. I mean, if a general manager does that, he needs to be drug tested immediately. Hurston Waldrop, man, he's not looked good. He has not looked good. I've watched a couple of his starts. He's got a 6.04 ERA. Remember, this was a guy that we thought was going to be the second coming last summer, and he got pelted around in the majors, and now they're talking about that he may be a guy that they transition to the bullpen, which I'm here for, because if you can make him a legitimate back-of-the-end guy, that can save you some money. Because remember, Iglesias, along with the Big Zoo, they are guys that you can see the end of the rainbow with, and you got to start planning for the future. The next guy that they talked about was Drew Hackenberg. He's the number 5 prospect for the Braves. And he, once again, just like Hurston Waldrop, he has an ERA north of 6. It's 6.75 and 5 starts, Double-A Columbus. So, look, 23-year-old right-hander, this is the time where you would expect him to start making big leaps towards the majors, but he's taken a step back. He gave up 7 earned runs in 4 innings against Chattanooga on Saturday. So it's not like he's getting better. All right, guy that most people are really excited about until he had the Tommy John surgery, Owen Murphy. He's still ranked as the 6th prospect, but he's about 11 months from his Tommy John surgery. So I would be shocked if he pitches in 2025, but they may pitch him at the very tail end to get him some exposure, but he's not going to be with the major leagues anytime soon. The number 7 prospect, this is the guy you can keep an eye on. J.R. Ritchie, who's the number 7 overall prospect. And he was drafted in the first round in 2022. He has a 2.57 ERA in high A Rome. Now, we know high A Rome is not the end-all, the beats-all. You really be more impressed if that was Double-A. But his 20% strikeout rate, though isn't it doesn't jump off the page. I think they called it eye-popping. He has limited his opponents to a 181 batting average. And I've seen him pitch a few times. He's got pretty good stuff. He could be a guy that if he's not up this year, you could see him next year. The number 8 prospect is Bauman, and he was a guy that was in the spring breakout game. He's 6'8", and what are they saying here? He issued 4 walks in his season debut, but since then he threw 6 scoreless against Winston-Salem on Wednesday. And that's not nothing. Lucas Braun, the number 10 prospect, he's got a 3.00 ERA in 4 starts at Columbus, 26 strikeouts, and just 2 walks over 24 innings. So that's a guy that you keep an eye on. To me, Lucas Braun and J.R. Ritchie, when we're talking about foreseeable future, those are guys that you kind of circle. And then once again, you got Didier Fuentes. We've talked about him before, but there are people in the organization that think that he actually may be the top pitching prospect when everything is said and done. But he's 19 years old. He was promoted to Double-A, by the way. This is after recording 9 strikeouts over 5 innings for Rome back on April 18th. And when he came up, he got 7 strikeouts in 3 innings. So this guy, Didier Fuentes, I'm assuming I am pronouncing that right. That's exciting. And maybe I would think because he's 19, he's going to be on the trajectory of, we'll say, 2027-ish. But you never know when you have a guy like that. If he continues to pitch well and blow people away, the Braves have been known to bring guys up. They could also be a guy that they move in a deal this summer. I do think the untouchables in this would be Owen Murphy and Hurston Waldrop at this point. But if someone backed the Brinks truck up with talent and the way he's pitched so far, but someone thinks they can get more out of Hurston Waldrop, he could be on the move. Because he hasn't. I love the idea of putting him as a reliever, because the guy has just been, he's basically got a fastball and it's like a splitter. I think he's one of the guys that throws the splinker, but it's a splitter sinker, and they're calling it a splitter. But I'm almost positive that when we did him last year, when they brought him up when we did the game, I'm almost positive that he was one of the guys that was throwing that splinker. But he's got two really good pitches. The problem is when you're a starting pitcher, you got to go through the lineup 2-3 times, and you run out of tricks, basically. Maybe he's a guy that they can push into the bullpen towards the end of the year. The bullpen's been pitching pretty well for the Braves, all in all, top to bottom, so I don't think they're going to in that panic mode yet, but it could be something that they do later in the season. Cam Minetti, he's not a can't miss prospect, but I do believe is untouchable right now. I don't think the Braves want to trade Drew Hackenberg anytime soon. And then Owen Murphy, he is a good, solid calendar year before we'll see him in any kind of action down on the farm. But he's a guy, he's 21 years old, so still a very young kid, and he'll be coming off of Tommy John, and I would think the sky is the limit for this kid, because when he first came out in 2022, first round selection, everybody was in love with this kid. Everybody. So there you have that. I'll go ahead and get out of y'all's hair. Anyways, we'll see you. First pitch is not till 8:40. Y'all have a great one. Great seeing everybody, as always.
Playing like this will be the laughing stock of the league.
All right, boys, let's get back to basics. This is a baseball. The object of the game is to keep the baseball within the confines of the...
You're in Braves country.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live as the Braves are on the road, and we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off for your Atlanta Braves and playing left field, it's Alex Verdugo. He's batting .333 with 5 RBI. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 6 home runs, 18 RBI, batting .286. Batting third, playing third, Marcell Ozuna. 5 home runs, 11 RBI, batting .316. Batting cleanup and playing first, it's Matt Olson. 4 home runs, 15 RBI, .221 on the year. Batting fifth, playing second, Ozzie Albies. A .229 average. He has 4 home runs and 13 RBI. Batting sixth, behind home plate, Sean Murphy. 7 home runs, 13 RBI, batting .220. Batting seventh and in center field, it's Michael Harris II. He's got a .243 average, 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Batting eighth, playing right, Eli White. He's got a .273 average with 2 home runs, 7 RBI, 1 stolen base. And Nick Allen is batting ninth and playing short. A .262 clip with 3 RBI, 4 stolen bases. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Bryce Elder. He's 0-1 with a 5.57 ERA, a 1.48 whip, 21 innings, 23 hits, 12 strikeouts, 8 walks, 5 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Ryan Feltner. He's 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA and a 1.32 whip. 25 innings, 21 strikeouts versus 23 hits, 11 walks, 4 home runs given up. Coming to bat in the bottom of the first inning for the Colorado Rockies. Leading off, it's Brendan Doyle. He's got 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .257. Beck is in left field and batting second. 5 home runs, 10 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .261. McMahon is at third and batting third. 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 160 clip. Goodman, the designated hitter, batting cleanup with 4 home runs, 11 RBI, batting .256. Toglia is at first base and batting fifth. 2 home runs, 11 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .213. Stallings is behind home plate and batting seventh. 5 RBI, a 186 average. Trejo is batting eighth and playing short. He's 1 for 3 on the year. Amador is at second, batting ninth. Batting .214, 1 home run, 3 RBI, 1 stolen base. Calling balls and strikes tonight, it's Corey Blazer. Your first base umpire, Manny Gonzalez. Second base will be manned by Alex Tosi, and down the third base line, it's Ron Culpa. Game time temperatures here at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. 61 degrees with the wind blowing in at about 13 miles an hour. Our pick to click tonight, we'll go with Matt Olson. He's just 1 for 5 lifetime against Feltner, but he does have a home run. It was a 3-run shot. We'll take your Atlanta Braves to win in a high-scoring affair. Atlanta 9, Colorado Rockies 5. Keys to the game tonight, put the bat on the ball. Stay away from the big strikeouts, and the Braves offense should thrive. While Bryce Elder has got to keep the ball in the ballpark. We talked about it on the pregame show, but the altitude here at Coors Field wreaks havoc on the movement of every pitcher. Even the ones that call this place home will tell you the ball moves different out of the hand. So he's going to have to adjust. The cool temperatures should help, and the wind blowing in. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the country club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves Country. How are you? We'll get into all the whys and wheres on these roster moves. Don't overreact to them, because I believe they're very temporary. But we'll get into them here in a second. Let me go ahead and do the salutations here on Braves Country. So we'll get up there at the start. Who's the first one in here? Willis, good to see you. What you talking about, Willis? Daryl and his other brother Daryl in the chat tonight. Charlie, Uncle Charlie's in here. Charles Fritz. John. Green Bay Pack are in here. Back from the draft, I assume. You got to be tired. You have like 200,000 people show up at your house. Who else do we have in here? World Drummer. Hellion. Tim Panel. Who else do we have rooting around in here? Christopher Townsend. Robert. SS Dub. Mark, Ricky Ricardo. James Hagan. Nathaniel Brooks. Good to see everybody. Justin Green, Stargazer. Are there two different Stargazers? I feel like there was another Stargazer that used to come in here. I might be messing that up in my head. Denise, good to see you. And who else do we have in here? Coming across the same names. Oh, there's Charlie Elrod. I thought I saw you in here earlier. And Quinn. Hindsight. Zach. And Edward Spry. Along with Tree Fitty. All right, we're going to take a real quick break. We come back, we'll unpack all this nonsense that is the Braves roster when we return. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. It helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the radio news.
Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. There is nothing wrong. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
Adventures in Time and Space.
We offer you
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another Braves ball game. Yes, sir. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball. No more measles and free tickets to the circus.
You're in Braves Country.
This is a reminder, disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Good evening, Braves Country. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Atlanta will be batting first as the road team out here in Colorado. Next two nights are late ones, 8:40 first pitch. And then remember, Wednesday is a getaway day. And for those of y'all that work daytime, you might actually be able to get home for a good portion of that. It does not begin until 3:10, so I would expect the game to be over with around the 6 o'clock hour. And remember, that will be the first time that we will bring you the post-game show. If you are country club members, you will be able to see it right here on YouTube. If not, we are going to put it on TikTok for free as we try to build that channel as well. So either way, whichever one you want to do, we just don't put it on Facebook because it's always a disaster, and it's a shorter show, and it's not worth all the hubbub and rhubarb to be able to get in and get their social media working. So that's the reasoning for that. We got to wait for the first pitch to actually be thrown. We tried to start the 3D, but it doesn't look like it wants to obey, so we'll wait on that. And while we wait on the first pitch, as the Atlanta Braves are, I'm having an issue with my, oh no, it's them. Okay, I thought it was my I thought it was me, but it's the Braves network. But that's why they invented the one coming from the Colorado side. So we'll go there, and then we'll wait for it to reappear on the Braves side. Someone didn't connect a cord in, and their feed going out to Colorado is blinking. It is always something with their road games. It is unbelievable. You'd think they would hire someone who's got it together, but they have not. Alex Verdugo digs in. Braves are wearing their road grays, top to bottom. Atlanta on the chest in red, outlined in navy. Feltner and the Rockies wearing white pants, purple jersey. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Rocks and fires. 92 up top. Hits it for a strike. So a 1-1 count. Brings it. Swing. Rattles it back foul. You got a 1-2 count. Those of y'all who might be on the Braves feed, it is blinking. It is them. It is not anything wrong with your television. So my advice would be either if you got the MLB ticket to go over to Colorado's feed, or just dip out for a little bit, and it'll probably fix itself eventually. The 1-2 swing, chops it foul right there and on his hands. We'll do it again. So 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. In the dirt. Did he go around? Big check over there. He did not. 2-2. Third base umpire Ron Culpa says no dice. Colorado wearing their purple jerseys with Colorado across the chest in black and white. Same thing with the names on the back, the numerals in black on the back, outlined in white. The 2-2, down. Ball 3, 3-2. White pants and the black ball cap in their classic interlocking CR that they've used for many years. They've got a lot of different variations for their jerseys. They're wearing the classic ones tonight. The payoff pitch. Swing. Pops it up. High. Into the stands over the third base side. Full count. So if you're wanting to know what's going on with all these moves, realize we're on a road trip in Colorado. And so the Ian Anderson move is to bring him back into the fold. Now, if they keep him on the roster, they can keep him for the rest of the year as the 3-2. Foul back out of play, we'll do it again. But if they try to send him back down for anything other than an IL stint, he'll go back out on waivers. So a couple things to keep in mind there. A, they're bringing Anderson in to eat some innings out here in Colorado and not wreck one of their other pitchers. It's a payoff pitch. Swing, pops that one up. High in the sky, can of corn just past shortstop. Making the easy catch is Trejo. Went away. One down. Rockies left to right across the outfield will be Beck, Doyle, and Moniak. Around the horn from third to first is McMahon, Trejo, Amador, and Toglia. Jacob Stallings, the ex-Miami Marlin, is behind home plate. He's had some big games against Atlanta. Austin Riley digs in. First pitch, swing and a miss. That's all in one. The 0-1 righty-righty matchup. Swing. Hits it over towards second. It's going to be a soft dribbler. 4-3 put out. 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and Marcelo Zuna will be the batter. Big Zoo off to a good start. Batting .316 on the year with 5 home runs. Righty-righty, first pitch. Down and away. It's 1-0. 1-0 count. Brings it. 90 at the knees. That'll even up the count at 1-1. Feltner, this will be his 14th pitch of the evening. The pitch swung on and lifted into right field. Lazy fly ball. That'll be easily caught in right field by Moniak, and that'll end the inning. Braves go up 1-2-3, 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Bryce Elder will jump on the bump when we return.
We leave for Honduras tomorrow for a tournament on Saturday and Sunday. It's about a 49-hour drive, so plan accordingly. From there, we're going to raft over to Cuba for a night game on Monday. Now, if we pull out a win in Cuba, we get an automatic bid into a tournament that's in Croatia. That game will be on Wednesday. Once that's wrapped up, I would like everyone to meet Saturday morning at the ESPN Sports Complex in Disney for practice. Our first game in Disney starts at noon later that day. Now, don't get spoiled with this schedule. As the season progresses, we will pick up more games. Also, we are still calculating the exchange rates, but Coach Gary will let everyone know how much we owe in tournament fees. Any questions?
Your 80-year-old dog don't want to go on a walk with you, okay? This is my 3rd time this week seeing people carrying around their 80-year-old dog because the dog barely made it on the walk. He don't want to go on a walk with you. He's 1 foot in the grave. What makes you think that he wants to go on a walk with you? Him and George Washington Carver were friends.
Boston fans dared hope they might at last win the World Championship that had been denied them every season since the team sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees. Plans were made for a big victory parade.
He could throw a baseball through a brick wall, as a matter of fact. If I had to choose one person to pitch one game in my one lifetime, I would choose Bob Gibson.
Now, Gibson would face Carl Yastrzemski in the 1967 World Series.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio with Mac McGee, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Bryce Elder. Is 91 on the outer edge. Sinker smacks the black. It's 0-1. The 0-1. right there, grabs the edge, 0-2. If we're going to get that call from home plate umpire Corey Blazer, we're going to be in for a good night for Elder because that is where he lives. The 0-2 swung on, banged over to third. It's going to be an easy 5-3 put out. Riley to Olson. One away. One down. That'll bring the number 2 batter Beck to the plate, the left fielder. 5 home runs on the year, righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way is right there, sinker on the outer edge. 0-1. He was not placing that pitch his last start. In fact, he was getting off the edge, and he wasn't even getting the calls that he was hitting. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. But what I do remember is that he started off very strong, and then by the second inning, his command had kind of gone away from him. So hopefully that doesn't reoccur. The 1-1 swing and a miss. Tried to take that slider. 1-2. Jordan Beck with a 982 OPS. He does have 10 RBIs on the year. The 1-2. Swing, lifts it into center field. Harris is on his horse. He'll cut it off, get it back into the infield quickly. They're going to make the run around towards second, and Beck with a head-first slide has a one-out double. That's one of the biggest things that really hurts your defense here in Colorado. It's not so much the elevation and whatnot. It's also the fact that it's an extremely wide outfield. So your outfielders have to be able to cover a lot of ground. I think that's one of the reasons why you'll continue to see Eli White out there in right field, because with him and Harris, they can cover a lot of ground. Good job by Harris from keeping that from going to the wall. First pitch is a sinker to McMahon. It's off the paint for a ball. It's 1-0. Verdugo doesn't have great speed, but he's not exactly going to hinder you out there in left field either. The 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. I would say if you see the Braves get a lead, you'll probably see Fairchild with his speed in the later innings. 2-0 count. Swing. Fouls it away. Sinker. Bottom corner, 2-1. So back to the whole Ian Anderson thing. He was brought up. He was claimed and brought up for... Once they claimed him off waivers, he had to go to the show within a reasonable amount of time. So Davis Daniel was sent back to AAA. Is the 2-1 misses high, 3-1. 3-1 count to McMahon. Righty-lefty matchup, batting 160, but he's got power. Pitch misses outside wide, ball 4. So Elder has already walked one. So they sent Daniel down on that, and the reason why Kelnick was sent down and Rosario claimed off of waivers is because they want Jared Kelnick to get regular at-bats. And he's not going to get regular at-bats because he's hitting so poorly that they're looking at his overall development. They've got a decent amount of money invested in him. First pitch on the way is blasted. That ball is going to go, and it's 3-0 Colorado. So the effects of Coors Field has already reared its ugly head with Bryce Elder, and it's 3-0 Colorado. That pitch was way too high. Goodman hits his fifth home run of the year. You got to expect some fireworks here in Colorado. So a 3-0 lead, or trailing 3-0 in Colorado, isn't the same in other places. That ball was, we'll call it 12 to 13 rows back in the left field seats. First pitch on the way is 94 at the knees. Four-seamer, it's 0-1. Bryce just has to dust that off and get back to work. The 0-1. 93 misses, 1-1. So they want Kid Kelnick to get as many at-bats as they can, and they can't keep starting him because he's hitting so poorly. Is the 1-1 swing and a miss 1-2. And so that's why he was set down, and they grabbed Rosario mainly. You'll only see him maybe in pinch hitting roles. I don't think he'll get a start. I could be wrong on that. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, hit hard, but right over to Ozzie. Ozzie scoops it, flips it to first. 2 down. Now, I could be wrong on that. They might want, but Eddie Rosario has not hit the ball well in 2 years, so I really think he's just a warm bat over there on the bench to pinch hit. He's a veteran. And when you've got Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back in the near future, as the first pitch on the way to Moniak is swung on and chopped over to first. Olson has it, he flips it to Elder, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Rockies put 3 on the board, but we got a long way to go, and this is a cavern of horrors because the ball flies and it flew out here in the first inning.
Y'all, I'm sorry, but you cannot be a fully grown adult blaming your actions on the zodiac sign.
Today, my son asked, "Can I have a bookmark?" I burst into tears. 11 years old, and he still doesn't know my name is Logan.
I'm just not going to have a man's baby just to have a man's baby.
Well, this is a nice change of generational pace.
If a man wants me to have his baby, I have 2 requirements.
As long as one of those requirements is you both actually like each other.
You're going to get a tattoo of my face on your body because it's a body for a body. My body's going to change forever. Your body's going to change forever.
And the slippery slope begins.
And my push present is either a car or a house, preferably both.
Push present? Like a gift for giving birth? Because you already got that. It's called a baby. You're going to have to find a way to crank that infant up and drive.
And Fox's partner on the infield, shortstop Louis Aparicio, was turning heads with his spectacular play.
This is the truth. Once in a while, I'm playing center field and I should be doing something, but I'd stand there in awe of a play that Louis made.
Aparicio teamed with Fox to become the league's best double play combination. And as the team's leadoff hitter, little Louis also ignited the offense with his quick bat and quick feet.
Louis, you do many things well, but I think a lot of the folks come out to see you get the jump on the pitcher and get those stolen bases.
He stole 56 bases, which was a groundbreaking number in Major League Baseball. He really brought the stolen base back into the game. Aparicio set the tone for, hey, this is what a leadoff hitter should be.
Together, Aparicio and Fox perfected the art of small ball.
Louis getting a single, somehow got the second, Nelly got a ground ball to get him a third, and I'd hit a fly ball. That's how we scored a lot of runs.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Matt Olson digs in. First pitch, down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. Tim's asking about A.J. Smith-Shawver. He's expected to possibly get the start tomorrow night. The 1-0. Stallings has an issue with his PitchCom device in his ear, so take a quick break on that. Feltner, 15 pitches in. The 1-0 to Olson. Swing! That ball's hammered into center field. That's down for a base hit. In the Ice House, coming through. Let's get it going, y'all.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House.
Ice House.
Smooth as it gets.
Good piece of hitting by the Ice House in between second and short. Good diving attempt by the shortstop Trejo, but just missed it. And we got runner at first. Nobody out, and Ozzie Albies batting fifth. Takes the first pitch down and in. It's 1-0. He's been struggling a bit, but he continues to bat fifth. I know I've seen some of y'all talking about that. I just don't think we're going to win that argument. I think he should be hitting below Michael and below Smurf right now, but that's not what they're planning on doing. The 1-0, down and away. They're going to say he check swinged and got a piece of that. 1-1. Now remember something too, he has also hit the ball well in Colorado, so that may have something to do with it. He does have that long looping swing. The weather's a little different tonight. It's blowing a little bit in. I don't think it's going to carry. That ball that was hit out on Elder. That's probably at most stadiums just the way he clobbered it. The 1-1 misses in, 2-1. It's still going to carry further than most stadiums, even when it's cool. But when it's warm in Colorado, that's when you got the problems. That's when you see the 18 to 15 scores. The 2-1 swing, hammered into right field. Will that get down and fair? It will shoot off the wall, but foul. Man, oh man alive. That'll leave it up to count at 2-2. Ozzie, we'll go ahead and change the cam to the action cam. He was, we'll call it 6 inches from a fair ball, which would have went off the wall. Probably would have had Ozzie at second and Olsen at third with nobody out. But instead, it's a 2-2 count. Olsen at first. The infield is back, double play depth. Huge hole on the right side is the 2-2. Swing hits up the middle, and that's going to be a 6-3. They do not get the double play. Ozzie Albies busting it down the line, and he'll beat it out. Close play, but it does look like that they made the right call. Colorado is on the phone. They do not want to challenge, so Ozzie Albies will be safe. It looked like he was crossing the bag just as that ball was getting there. It was hitting right at the shortstop. Yeah, he's safe by about a quarter step. So a good call by first base umpire Manny Gonzalez. That ball was hit right over the second base bag, but into the teeth of the defense. Sean Murphy's your batter. First pitch in the dirt. It's 1-0. Of course, you always got to worry about the double play with the catcher at the plate. They'll be trying to get him to bang one into the dirt. Feltner has a 6-pitch delivery. He's a true kitchen sink pitcher. 4-seam changer, slider, sweeper, sinker, and the curve. They're going to flip it over to first to keep Ozzie close by. He really leans on that 4-seamer 39% of the time. And then when you talk about a pretty close to even split of the change, slider, sweeper, and sinker. The curve comes in at just 6% of the time just to keep you off balance. The 1-0. Ozzie goes, throw down to second. He is safe, and a great steal by the Wiz. We got a runner in scoring position, so that'll at least take us out of the double play. Good base running by Ozzie Albies. He beat the throw, but the ball was dropped anyways by the second baseman, Amador. His 4th steal of the season. Infield back and to the left, the 2-0. Slider right down on the inner cut, 2-1. He better not throw that slider there again. And I'll tell you what, that was right in his wheelhouse. 2-1 count. Pitch on the way. Check swing. Halfway through it. 2-2. Colorado 3, Braves nothing. If you're just joining us, the 3-run home run in the bottom of the first. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Whiffed at that sweeper. Chased it off the edge. 2 down. 2 down, and that'll bring Michael Harris to the plate. Money Mike. He could get one down in that outfield and a lot of real estate to cover. We could cut this to a 2-run game. Righty lefty. First pitch, change up at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Feltner comes set, brings it. Inside almost gets him in the leg. Michael had to dive out of the way. 1-1. 1-1 count. Feltner at 28 pitches. The outfield is playing pretty straight away and deep. The 1-1 inside. Slider misses, 2-1. Infield is playing back and to the right, playing Michael to pull. The third baseman, McMahon's all by his lonesome over there, playing essentially a shallow short. The 2-1 count. Swing and a miss, chase that changeup. 2-2. Michael down to his last strike. Braves down to the last strike in this inning. Trying to find a way to get Ozzie home. He reached on a fielder's choice. Michael takes his quick timeout. Now we're back to work. The 2-2 in the dirt. Tried to get him to chase that changeup again, but that one was well low. Ball 3-2. Standing on deck is the Book of Eli White. Nick Allen in the hole is the number 9 hitter. So a full count to Harris. Brings it. Swing! That ball's lifted into center field. Coming in, making the running catch is Doyle, and that'll end the inning. Braves get one on, but can't do anything with it. When we return, Elder will go back to work and try to settle this down. We trail 3-0.
Strippers have always used names of expensive things like Diamond or Mercedes. Nowadays, DJs be like, please welcome Gas and Eggs to the main stage.
Most of the problems in your life are probably your fault. And don't hear what I'm not saying. I do understand you. I get that being a victim makes you feel like you have a get-out-of-jail-free card for being a and I'm here to tell you, no. Stick with me here. You might not be depressed. You might just need to go find a glass of water, eat a salad, have a decent sleep schedule. I have insomnia, do you? Or do you just lack the self-control to put the phone down? I'm not saying these things because I'm trying to be an I'm saying them because when I say you're not allowed to quit, I truly mean it. However, until you start taking accountability for the things that are your fault, then nobody can help you. Have a great day. Whoop.
Hey, baby! We're gonna be here all day! We're gonna be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party!
Say the weird thing.
Is a police officer obstructing a citizen's right to freedom of speech if they handcuff a deaf person?
Bob Gibson's first pitch to Yastrzemski. Here's the pitch. He swung at a base hit out of the right field.
Yastrzemski continued his tear, hitting .400, smashing 3 home runs, and in one game driving in 4 of Boston's 5 runs. But Bob Gibson overwhelmed nearly every other Red Sox hitter.
Gibson set. Here's the pitch. Strike 3.
Despite an aching elbow, he won the first game, took 3 days off, then won the 4th.
He struck him out swinging.
3 days later, he was called in again to pitch the 7th against Boston's best, Jim Lonborg, who had also won his 2 games, but who was starting with only 2 days rest.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Bryce Elder. Jacob Stallings, the number 9 hitter, is right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Stallings batting 186 with 5 RBI, the 0-1. Swing. Hits it hard on the ground over to Riley, but Riley has it. He'll flip it over to first, excuse me. To be a 5-3 put out, 1 away. 1 down. I'm gonna reset this real quick. So doing that a lot lately on this site is that when they come back from the break, it spins and it slows down, gets you behind. First pitch on the way. Trejo, righty-righty matchup. Brings it. 89 off the edge. It's 1 out. Trejo batting .333 on the year. The 1-0. 90 off the plate. 2-0. Last thing he needs to do here is walk the number 8 hitter. The 2-0 count. Slider right there for a strike. 2-1. Talked about this in the pregame show, but the ball does funny things in Colorado. Sometimes these pitchers have a hard time controlling And a guy like Elder, who's already had some control problems, the 2-1, chopped over to short. Allen's got it. He'll flip it over to first. 6-3 on the putout. 2 down. But I've heard so many interviews from guys who called Colorado home for a number of years, and they talk about the fact that there was no rhyme or reason. There were games where they could go out there and they couldn't control the ball with any of their cutter stuff because of the altitude. First pitch on the way to Amador, the number 9 hitter, chops off the plate. It's 0-1. It's the number one reason why it's so hard to build a consistent contender out there in Colorado, because you can't build through pitching. First of all, no free agent pitcher wants to go to Colorado. That's number one. Number two, it's very hard as the 0-1 right there at the knees. It's 0-2. It's so difficult to build through the draft and have these young guys come up and try to master their craft in these altitudes. The 0-2 count. Outside wide 1-2. Probably also doesn't help the fact you're in the same division as the Dodgers and the Padres and the Diamondbacks and now the Giants. The 1-2. 1-2 misses outside. 2-2. Two count. Braves trail 3-0. Bottom of the second. Pitch on the way. Swing. Rifles it over the second base bag, but right into the glove of Nick Allen. Played perfect. L6 in your scorecard. We're back in a flash when we return. Eli leads us off.
Hate your job? Do it the rest of your life. Be a man.
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
When people talk about DiMaggio, they're usually talking about Joe. But I'm here to tell you that his brother Dom was one hell of a player too. His career only lasted 11 seasons in part because he missed 3 years due to military service, but in 7 of those seasons, he managed to make the All-Star team. During his 10 full seasons, he ranked first in hits, second in runs scored, and third in doubles when compared to all major leaguers during that time period. He led American League center fielders in assists 3 times and putouts and double plays twice. He tied a league record by recording 400 putouts 4 times, and his 503 putouts and 526 total chances in 1948 stood as an American League record for nearly 30 years. He was an effective leadoff hitter, never striking out more than 68 times in a season. He led the American League twice in runs scored, once in triples, and once in stolen bases. He is one of only 3 players to average more than 100 runs throughout his career. He batted 300 or better 4 times, and just missed hitting 300 over his career. He batted safely in 34 straight games in 1949, a Red Sox record.
LA manager Walter Alston had a daunting challenge when it came to the 59 Dodgers. He wanted to recapture their place at the top of the National League, but the team was at a crossroads, and it was his job to show them the way.
He was charged with sort of rebuilding the Dodgers when some of their great players were winding down and the new wave of youngsters was coming up.
In many ways, Alston was ideally suited for the job in 59.
Walter Alston was quiet. He was patient. He knew baseball probably as well as anybody. But the thing about him, I believe, was that he could bring the ball club together.
He didn't say a whole lot. He didn't give many speeches. But when he did say something, you would listen.
Thought he was a fair man, very strong man. Didn't want to mess with him.
Welcome back. Eli White, the batter. First pitch is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Eli batting .273 with 2 homers. 1-0. Swing, hits it hard down third base line. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes the book of Eli. He is flying around the bag. He's got a leadoff double. Let's go, Eli. Hard hit ball whistled down the third base line. Ryan McMahon had no chance on it. By the time he pivoted to turn his glove, that ball was by him. His 4th double of the year, Nick Allen, the batter. First pitch. 91, 4-seamer, outer edge. It's 0-1. Put it on the action cam so you can see what's going on. The 0-1, down and away. Did he go around? They check down the line. First base umpire Manny Gonzalez says no dice. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Allen batting .262 on the year. The pitch, swing and a miss. Blew it right by him. Four-seam fastball. 1-2. Allen's biggest job is just to get Eli over by any means necessary here. You love a big inning, but one run could really help. The 1-2. He'll chop it over to second, and he got his job done. It's going to be 4-3 on the putout, but Eli will head on down to third on the hit to the right side of the infield. And your Atlanta Braves have the first run of the game 90 feet away. That'll bring Alex Verdugo to the plate. The infield is back with the 3-run lead. So his job will be just to get him home. First pitch, 93 at the knees, four-seam fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 93 way outside wide, 1-1. Love a base hit, but just get that first run home. That's usually the hardest run to score of the game, is that first one. The 1-1 in the dirt. Good block by Stallings. Eli will stay put. 2-1. 2-1 count. Ryan Feltner comes set. The 42nd pitch of the night. Swing, chops it off his end stop. 2-2. Braves nothing, Rockies 3. Top of 3. The 2-2. Leadoff batter Verdugo, the 2-2. In the dirt, 3-2. So full count now. Runner at third. 1 out. Payoff pitch. Swing, chops it over towards third. That's going to get through the hole. That's going to get through a hole, and the run will score. Your Atlanta Braves got the first run of the game, an RBI single by Dr. Doogie. Let's go.
What's going on? Blood pressure's coming up. The pulse is getting stronger. Get the OR ready. We've got a live one going, and we want him to stay that way.
So Verdugo at first. The first pitch on the way to Riley. Swings at a four-seamer below his knees. Chops it foul down the third baseline. It's 0-1. Now the tying run stands on deck. Excuse me, at the plate. On deck is Ozuna. Keep that pressure going. Feltner. 45 pitches in here in the top of the third. Riley. 0 for 1 on the day, the 0-1 swing. That ball's rifled into right field. That ball's through for a base hit. And Alex Verdugo will go first to third. We got runners on the corners, 1 out, and the Big Zoo coming to the plate.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Love that swing by Riley. He didn't try to do too much. There was a fastball on the outer edge, and he just slapped it through the hole. They were playing him to pull, and he went the other way. Verdugo got a great jump, ahead for a slide into third, and we've got runners on the corners, 1 out. Ozuna can cut this to a 1-run lead with a fly ball. He could really do damage with the big fly. First pitch in the dirt. Good block by Stallings. It's 1-0. You do wonder if they may send Riley to try to stay out of that double play because of Ozuna's speed. Riley still has pretty good wheels. By the way, you NBA fans, you can go ahead and cross off Miami out of any bracket. They are losing by 46 points at home with 2 minutes left in the third quarter in an elimination game. So that tells me somebody wants to go play some golf. They don't have any desire to go fly back up to Cleveland. Quick powwow out there at the mound, and now Ozuna comes set. You think Stallings is the 1-0. Slider misses high 2-0. Stallings went out there to talk to Feltner. It could be to calm him down, but it also could have been, I think he might have been crossed up on that last pitch. Wanted to make sure they were on the same book. The 2-0, down and away 3-0. The infield is back and to the left, as you can see. There's a huge hole on the right side. So anything gets dribbled over there with them holding Riley would surely get through. The 3-0 brings it. Swing and a miss. Slider. Ozuna came out of his shoes. Might have chased one down. It was really close around the knees. 3-1. Braves trail by 2. Runners at the corners, 1 out. The 3-1 swing. That ball's lifted high into right field. Going back. On the track. Making the catch is Moniak, but that will score the second run. Verdugo comes home. The big bear with the big fly. The big sac fly, and it's 3-2. Good at bat there by Ozuna. They tried to go in with the sinker down and in, and he had the inside-out swing to send it to right field. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson. Swing and a miss at the slider on the intercut. It's 0-1. Put it back on the plate. For those of y'all on our YouTube channel, the 0-1. Brings it. Swing! That ball's lifted high into center field. But it's going to die just before the warning track for a loud out number 3. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 2 on the board. We're back within a run, baby. Let's go, Braves country.
Is Google a man or a woman?
A woman. Because it never lets you finish a sentence without making a suggestion.
Have you ever looked at Brooks Robinson's helmet and thought, what is wrong with it? In the early 1970s, the commissioner's office made it mandatory to wear a batting helmet if you were entering the league. Robinson was originally for the helmet, since he had been beamed in the head several times over his career. When he got the new helmet and put it on, he noticed that the bill was a little longer than a normal helmet. Because of this, he could see the brim and part of the flap when he went up to hit, which caused him to lose concentration at the plate. So he did what any rational player would do. He took a hacksaw and cut it off about 1.5 inches off the brim and about a half inch off the flap. The result is something that looks like it came straight out of the movie Easy Rider.
Under Austin's guidance, young flamethrowers Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale started pitching with more poise, while aging icons Duke Snider and Gil Hodges reached back for some vintage performances. Austin even got former All-Star Carl Furillo to accept a bench role and inserted Wally Moon, which would pay enormous dividends.
Wally Moon, yeah, he took advantage of that screen in left field like nobody else. Anytime he hit that screen off the wall or over the wall, they called it a moonshot.
The Dodgers played far better than they had the season before, but they still could not seem to find the spark they needed to reach the top of the standings. Ultimately, a shortstop named Maury Wills and a pitcher named Larry Sherry would push them into contention. Both players had been languishing in the minors and had forged a special bond.
I was going so bad. And I just made a mistake, made an error in the opposition running all over the bases. And And I actually left the field, went in the clubhouse, was ripping my uniform off. I was quitting. And Larry Sherry happened to see me and came in and grabbed me, pinned me up against the wall, and said, "You can't do that. I won't let you do it." Larry Sherry saved my career.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Elder is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Back to the top of the order for the Rockies. Braves trailed down just by 1 if you stepped away for a second. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Rockies scored 3 in the bottom of the first on a 3-run home run. Braves knocked in 2 in the top of the third. The 1-1. Sinker misses. Ball 2-1. Couple of things that are going on is the 2-1 pitch. You go around, look like he may have. They checked down the line. Manny Gonzalez said that he did go around 2-2. He definitely went around. 2-2 count. Elder comes set, brings it. Slider, tried to get him to chase again. No dice. So a full count to Doyle, the leadoff hitter. Don't want to put him on. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Elder, bring it. How about that? Good pitch on that one. One away. 1 down. Elder's first strikeout of the night. He does have 1 walk and 2 hits, including that home run. First pitch on the way. Tries to drop a bunt. Showing a slider. Beck pulls it back, but gets called for a strike looking. It's a 1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires off the plate. One 1 count. Jordan Beck doubled his first time up. Whoa, hey, Hive. Pitches. Hits the glove of Murphy, goes straight to the backstop. That ball, talk about altitude. That ball took off. 2-1. The 2-1. That ball is hit over the glove of Verdugo. Hard hit ball. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Went right through his glove, basically. He drifted back to make the catch. Hit his glove at the very top of his glove, and it bounced away behind him. I don't think that'll be an E7. I think it'll be a double, but we'll see how they play it. Righty-lefty matchup now. First pitch on the way to McMahon. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Kicks and fires down and away. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Beckett, second base. Duo. Swing, rip, and a miss. 2-1. Fastball right there in his kitchen. Looks like they're going to give him an error. The ball kind of took off on him at the end. I don't know. That's a tough call either way. 2-1 count. Elder spins around. Chase the runner back to second. I'm sure Verdugo will tell you he should have had the out, but it's the 2-1. 92 misses high. 3-1. That ball took off on him, and he was drifting back and had to stick his glove up at the last second. He did touch it, but it's not like it hit him in the square in the glove and fell out. 3-1 count. They may change that later, but as of right now, it stands as an error. A two-base error. The 3-1 to McMahon. He'll walk for the second consecutive time. Just like that, they've put runners on first and second. And this is deja vu over again. Goodman will come to the plate. Same situation. After a two-baser by Beck and a walk by McMahon. Last time, Goodwin made it a 3-run game. First pitch on the way. Right there at the knees. It's a Braves are having funny things happen to their video again. You have to bear with me because I can't see a thing. I just switched over to the Colorado station. So as this cleans up, it's 1-1 count, runners on first and second, one out. The pitch. 91, down and away. 1-2. Whatever that was that started the game, they're doing it. They have the same issue. I'm telling you, somebody's kicking a cord back in the studio. The 1-2, swing. Fouls it down the line. Foul. Just past the first base bag. 1-2 count. Elder comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got Goodman to chase one off the edge. 2 away. Big strikeout there by Elder. That'll bring the left-handed bat of Michael Toglia. He's got 2 home runs on there. You can't just lay one into him either. He put the hurt on the Braves pitching staff last year. First pitch, swing, smack down the right field line. Foul. It's 0-1. He's had big-time strikeout issues beginning of the year, but they're showing a stat on the Colorado cast that basically saying he's turned it around the last 8 games. The 0-1, down and in, 1. 1-1 count. He had a strikeout rate of 48% his first 18 games. It's down to 17% the last 8. 1-1. Swing, hits it on the ground over to Ozzie. Ozzie has it. He'll flip it to first, and we will avoid danger this time. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Braves get the sticks. Let's get some damage here in Colorado.
When somebody asks me if I'm having a good day, I just got to ask myself 3 questions, brother. 1, am I alive? I usually am. 2, am I in the land of the free? I usually am, baby. And 3, do I feel the smiling spirit of George Washington gazing down upon me from the great pearly land of the free in the sky? Brother, there ain't a moment that goes by that I don't feel that. And when I add up that math, makes me realize there are no bad days in the land of the free, baby.
I have a bunch of jokes about unemployed people, but unfortunately, none of them seem to work.
If you're on your phone and your wife asks you if you're texting one of your floozies, say yes. Then send her a text that says, "What's up?" After she backtalks, say, "See, this is why you're not my main girl."
The 2 friends were called up in mid-season and began contributing right away. Sherry as the team's top reliever and Wills as its new spark plug.
He started getting hits. He hit the balls up the middle, ground balls to the left side. Every now and then a line drive. I said, how wonderful. I mean, this guy had struggled all this time, and now he's got that hitting down right.
Covered a lot of ground at shortstop. I mean, go to his left, go deep in the hole a lot. He can run like a deer.
The new Dodger shortstop, Wills, a lifesaver for the Dodgers.
With his speed, he created a different atmosphere when he got on base. He changed the whole club.
Wills beat opposing teams with his legs, and Sherry beat them with his iron will.
Anytime you talk to Larry, don't worry about it. I can take care of it. Larry had determination. Larry had a belly full of guts. Larry was out there to beat you.
And he had a slider, hit that outside corner, and you swung, the ball wasn't there anymore.
He would come in and just shut the other team down in crucial moments.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves 2024 season. See you off the ballpark. Love you.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way. Ozzie Albies is right off the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. 1-0, excuse me. The 1-0. Swung on, pops it up. High and out of play. 1-1. Wind's starting to whip towards right field. It's starting to push out a little bit. Getting the game, it was blowing hard in. Now it seemed like it's shifting a little bit. Keep an eye on it. The 1-1. Swing. Pops that one up down the left field line, giving chases the third baseman, McMahon. He'll make a basket catch over his shoulder with no trouble at all. One away. Yes, it does, Charles. It's a pretty good play by McMahon. He had to go over his shoulder, avoid one of the ball boys over there that had to pick up the stool and get out of his way over there by the tarps. He was dodging a lot of things. First pitch on the way to Smurf is an inside bender. Looked like the slider. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, rips it over towards short. That ball's going to get through for a base hit. And Sean Murphy has a one-out single. And your Atlanta Braves got something going here in the top of the fourth inning. Hard hit ball smashed through the hole. No real chance for Trejo to make a play on that. That ball was by him with the quickness. Michael Harris II, who's 0 for 1 with the line out, will come to the plate. The number 7 batter in the order. He'll be followed by Eli. The first pitch swung on, chops it over towards second. They'll get Smurf at the force at second base, but Harris too fast down the line. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Michael. Smurf will head back to the dugout. But if you're going to get an out there, that's a pretty good trade-off to have Harris on the base paths over Murphy. You may see Michael take off here. Eli, first pitch, 91 miles an hour. Right down the pipe for a strike. It's 1-1. The 0-1. I'm going to flip it over to first real quick to keep Michael close by. Righty-righty matchup. Braves trail 3-2. Scored 2 runs in the third to cut that lead down to 1 after giving up a 3-run home run in the first. The 0-1 to Eli. Runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second. He should be safe. He is. And Money Mike. Head first slide. Pretty good jump. Stallings had a pretty good throw, but Harris with the good jump and the good speed well underneath the tag. Harris, his 6th stolen base of the year. First pitch on the way after that is a dribbler down the third base line. Stallings is going to fire it down to first. The Book of Eli is just too fast on that, baby. He's gunning it down. He'll be safe with an infield single. And Harris down to third. We've got runners on the corners and 2 outs. That was basically a swinging bunt. Stallings did everything he could do there. He jumped on it quick, spun, and fired a bullet down to first. But Eli is just way too fast down the base paths. 99% of the guys in Major League Baseball are out on that play. Imagine how much faster Eli would be digging down the base paths if he was a left-hander. He's like Ichiro fast down the line. It's ridiculous. First pitch on the way to Allen is a dribbler down in between home and first. And Feltner's going to have to just swallow it, and that'll tie the game. So another swinging bunt. Speed kills, baby. Braves have tied it 3-3. 2 swinging bunts. Feltner's got to be beside himself. He just gave 2 really good pitches that had exit velocity of about 20 miles an hour off the bat, and instead he's given up 2 hits and a run. I always remember this, but it reminds me of that series we had against the Mets back in 2022, the very first part of the season before we ran them down. We're going to go out there and talk to Feltner real quick. Pitching coach Darryl Scott of the Colorado Rockies is out there with the powwow. But I'll always remember that series, maybe because it was the first full season that we did here on Braves Country Radio, but it was fairly early in the summer, and we had a series in New York against the Mets where play after play after play, the Mets were getting on base with rolling, swinging bunts down the third base line. I remember specifically one of them, Spencer Strider was pitching, and he could not believe he didn't get out of the third inning. He had like 80 pitch count, but he was actually pitching pretty well that day. First pitch on the way to Alex Verdugo is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Runners at first and second, 2 outs with good speed on the base paths. Verdugo, who's 1 for 2. 1-0. Misses high and inside, 2-0. Stallings wanted the call. That was a close one. I'm not sure about that one. That's one of those ones, depends on what hat you're wearing, if you thought that was a ball or a strike. 2 on, 2 out, the 2-0 count. Deuces wild here in the Rockies. Pitch high and out of the zone, ball 3-0. You know he doesn't want to walk Verdugo with Austin Riley standing on deck. So Doogie should get something to hit here. 3-0. Down and in, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. We've walked the bases loaded. Ducks all over the pond.
What's going on? Blood pressure's coming up. The pulse is getting stronger. Get the OR ready. We've got a live one going and we want him to stay that way.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Austin Riley. First pitch. Takes 89 right down underneath his hands. It's 0-1. Riley must have been looking for the outer side because that's usually a pitch that he cranks. The 0-1 to Riley. Swing! Rifles it foul. 0-2. So Riley down to his last strike. The Braves have tied it up 3-3 in the top of the 4th. Bases loaded. You'd like to take advantage of this scoring opportunity. Top of the 4th, 3-3. Brings it in the dirt. Good block by Stallings. Speed all over the base paths. That ball gets away at all, Eli will score for sure. The 1-2. Swing! Fouls it away. Do it again, 1-2. You got Eli at third, so a wild pitch would score. Anything that gets down will definitely score Nick Allen. And Verdugo still has pretty good speed at first. The 1-2. In the dirt, down and away. 2-2. Deuce is wild now. A 2-2 count with 2 outs. Braves trailed this 3-0 just a couple innings ago, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase that slider. They finally got him to chase it. That'll end the inning. But Feltner, he's at 73 pitches. We head to the 4th in a tie ball game. We got a brand new ball game here in Braves country. Le'Veon Bell, he put out a single for people to listen to on Twitter of a rap album that he's really proud of. He asked for people to critique it. Keenan Allen, the receiver of the Chargers, came back with the trash emoji. And what's even better, and I can't do it justice because we're on radio, you've got to see the video. The video that he put up. Oh, my God. It's like the most funny and exciting thing I have ever seen because it's like really bad late 80s, early 90s rap video. But anyways, it's staged almost like black and white. He's like under a bridge somewhere where there's like a bonfire going.
Hard times.
So like, yeah.
Hard times.
You know, hard times for a guy making millions.
He can relate.
But the funniest part is when he's got the hoodie on, he's doing poses and stuff like that and kind of jiving around. And then out of nowhere, sorry, I can't get it out. He comes up from under the screen. So in other words, like
from the Muppets or something?
Almost like the Muppets.
When you see just the figure just come straight up.
Yes, the gig comes straight up while he's also in the background. It's like the worst thing put together ever. I don't know how to edit a video. We could do better than this, I'm telling you.
Who's the director, Pouncey?
Armchair.
In past years, the White Sox may have been worried about being caught by the powerful Yankees. But this season, they were simply too fast to catch, as Chicago finished ahead of New York and second place Cleveland.
It's a great thing for us to beat the Yankees. It's nice that we beat Cleveland, was to come in second, but to beat the Yankees was number 1.
And finally, the Sox ended 40 years of futility when they captured the American League pennant.
There's the ground ball. Aparicio has a step on second, throws to first. The ball game's over. The White Sox are the champions of 1959. A 40-year wait has now ended.
Welcome back. The first pitch from Elder misses down and away. It's 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires. High and out of the zone. Ball 2-2. And Moniak, the batter, brings it. Swing. That ball's going to get ripped into center field. Down for a base hit. Michael Harris II will cut it off before it gets to the outfield wall. But it's a leadoff single for the Rockies. Is seesaw fair? Started with 3 runs in the first by Colorado, then 2 in the third by the Braves, 1 in the fourth by the Braves. Now the Rockies have the leadoff runner with nobody out. Jacob Stallings, the batter. He's 0 for 1. First pitch swung on, rifled. Foul. He got a piece of his foot. It's on 1. Stallings is your typical catcher, not with great speed, so if you can get him to hit one on the ground into the teeth of the defense, you could turn 2. Batting 182 on the year, the former Florida Marlin has 5 RBI, a 544 OPS. Another one. Swing. Just a bit behind that one. Fouls it back. It's 0-2. Bryce Elder in 2025 has pretty much gone to just a 4-pitch mix. Sinker and slider the majority of the time. They come in at about the 0-2. Down and in. The sinker slider mix comes in at 76% of the time. And he'll mix in as the 1-2. Caught, looking, strike 3. Got him right there. The slider went away. Then he has the change and four-seamer, each equaling 12% apiece. So he really is pretty, he leans on those first 2 pitches And then the put-away pitch, you're either going to get the change up or slider if he's trying to keep you off balance. First pitch on the way, runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second. He's out! They're going to say that the runner came off the bag. Ozzie held the tag. Good throw by Smurf and a great defensive tag by Ozzie. I don't even think it was necessarily intentional by Ozzie. He lost his balance, but he was aware enough to realize to keep holding the tag because he came up, slid feet first as the first pitch on the way after that. The first pitch was a ball, by the way. That one was right there for a strike. It's 1-1. He popped up from his feet, a feet first slide, and when he popped up, is the 1-1's rifle back. It's 1-2. He came completely off the bag. Then he tried to tag the bag on the back end with his left hand. And second base umpire Alex Tosi called him out. He didn't even argue. He just basically said, it's one of those things where you're like, no! So a 1-2 count. Righty, here's the pitch. Just misses outside 2-2. He could get a quick inning here. That would be huge for Elder. He's at 63 pitches, which isn't terribly high, but you never know what Coors series of 3 is going to bring. The 2-2 swing, belts it high, deep, into left field, going back on the track. It bangs off the wall. Harris plays it off the wall. It's going to be a 2-out double, I believe. It looked like it hit that yellow marker up there, but I believe in the Rockies, don't believe that's considered a home run. I think it actually has to clear the fence. In some stadiums, it does consider a home run, but I think we've had this conversation before, and I do believe that I remember that that's just the line. Because it did hit the yellow line. If the yellow line's a home run, it's a home run. Trejo standing at second with 2 outs. It doesn't appear there's any kind of review going on, so I do believe that's what we're going to get is a double. I mean by inches. If it's just an inch or so back, it's going to bounce the other way. First pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Amador, the number 9 hitter. Misses up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Tell you what, Verdugo's having problems out there because I think a lot of our other left fielders are actually going to make that catch. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. I definitely think Eli, if he's out there and left, makes that catch. Or Kelnick. It's kind of a moot point now that he's down in AAA. 1-1 count. I think you'll definitely see, if we get a lead late in the innings, you'll definitely see Stuart Fairchild come in. The 1-1. Elder spins around and chases the runner back to the bag. So we'll hit the action cam and keep an eye on that. 1-1 count. Amador lined out his first time up. Pitch, swing, pops it up. Shallow left field. Who wants it? Somebody get it. There's Nick Allen. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. That wind is whipping, and it's really playing games out there in the outfield. We'll be back in a flash. Tie game. The heart of the order coming up for your Bravos.
Darling, I heard what you did for a Klondike bar. Call me.
It's not that I don't like people, it's that I don't want them near me.
Have you been drinking paint? No.
Let me see your tongue.
Oh
my God, dude! Oh, that's disgusting.
It's not bad.
You can't drink paint.
I know. I hear you.
You say that, but I don't think that you're gonna stop.
I get it though, man. That's right.
I feel like you're saying you get it, but you don't get it.
To every girl that's ever said to me, playing dumb isn't cute, I'm not playing. This is a factory setting. There was some assembly required, but they threw that box out and all of those screws. And the warranty forgot about it. So you and I are just gonna have to get over it, because this is as good as it's gonna get.
In the final days of the 1959 season, the Braves, Giants, and Dodgers were locked in a three-team race for the National League crown.
Maury Wills lays down a perfect squeeze bunt to score Hodges. The Dodgers go on to defeat San Francisco 8-4.
The Giants were done, but the Dodger euphoria was short-lived as the Braves beat the Phillies on the last day of the season to force a playoff few thought the Dodgers would survive.
Milwaukee was so good that year and they'd won a couple of years before in the National League, and everybody thought, well, this is the team to beat.
We were actually happy to end up in a tie because we matched up well with the Dodgers.
We were very confident, and we fully expected to win the playoffs.
But as they readied for the best-of-3 series, the Dodgers were undaunted.
The Braves had a better team than we had, man for man, if you wanted to match them on paper. But we always knew the game is won on the field, not the paper.
We went there to win.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Feltner is right down the pipe, a slider to the big zoo. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup, the 0-1. Swing! That ball's lifted into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So there we go. Let's go, Braves country. Slaps a single to left. One on, nobody out. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty, lefty. The 1-0. Swing! That ball's lifted high into right field, but bending, foul, and out of play. If it stays straight, it's going to have just enough to get over the wall, but that wind really pushed it, and it ended up about 15 rows right of the foul pole, just a tad short. The 1-1 down and in, 2-1. They check down the line at third base umpire Ron Culpa, but he says no dice. 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, swing, chops it foul in between home and first. 2-2. Can't wait to see everybody at the All-Star festivities in July. I'm assuming everyone will be rocking Bryce Elder jerseys. Or Eddie Rosario ones. Maybe even some Ian Andersons. 2-2 count. We're getting closer to mapping out a game plan for that Sunday when we first get into town. The Sunday before the All-Star game. The 2-2. Wilson digs in. Swing and a miss. Chase curveball off the plate. One away. 2 down. That's the problem with those kitchen sink pitchers. Once they get to 2 strikes, if they can locate it, they've got a lot to play with there. Ozzie Albies, who's 0-for, stands in. Open stance from the left side. First pitch on the way to Ozzie. First pitch swinging. Hits it up high into left field. That ball's going to get eyes. That ball's going to get eyes, and it's going to get down for a base hit. And the whiz.
I'm the whiz. I'm the whiz. I'm the whiz. I'm the whiz. And
Texas leaguer, a blooper, seeing eye single, whatever you want to call it, into very shallow left field. Beck was trying to make a sliding attempt, but he was nowhere near the ball. I think he was trying to avoid the collision more than anything else with the shortstop Trejo, who was trying to run it down. So Smurf, the batter, and you got to try to stay out of the double play with him. He's got to get that ball up. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Curveball came out of his shoes. It's 0-1. Feltner, who had a long inning the last inning, he's at 82 pitches right now. It's not terribly high, but he is only just one out into this inning. The 0-1. Right there, slider at the knees. 0-2. That's the one you want to swing at. 0-2 count. First and second, one out. The infield is back into the left, playing Smurf to pull. The 0-2. Tried to chase the four-seam fastball down and in. 2-2. Very much like he did against Ozuna. If you remember Ozuna's fly ball, they tried to get a sinking fastball for the right-hander to hit into the ground. The 1-2. Good take, sweeper. Just missed the outer zone. 2-2. Two-two count. Pitch in the dirt. Ball 3, 3-2. There is a right-hander warming up in the Rockies pen. Didn't get eyes on the jersey, but they do have a right-hander warming up. Sean Murphy 1 for 2 with a single. We could use one here. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Man. $85-mile-an-hour slider that stayed up, and he just could not make contact with it. So that'll bring Michael Harris the second to the dish. Righty-lefty, first pitch. Slider on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Creeping up near 90 pitches. This may be the last inning for Feltner. Depends on how he does here against Michael. The 0-1 to Harris. Brings it. Swing, slaps it back foul. Changeup off the plate. It's 0-2. The deuce is wild now. 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs. The 0-2 to Harris. Swing, pops it back. Do it again. Harris scored after reaching on a fielder's choice last time up. He is 0 for 2, but he has a stolen base and a run scored. So impacting the game even with when you can't get it done with the bat. The 0-2. Swing. Just got a piece of that. Staying alive. So an 0-2 count. Kicks and fires in the dirt, 1-2. One-two count. Feltner kicks back and fires. Ball's fouled out of play. Slider up top. 1-2 count. First and second, 2 outs. The 1-2. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky, back behind home plate. We'll do it again. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's hit hard, and that's going to get through. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. 1 run will score. Atlanta Braves take the lead. 4-3. 2 runs will score. The throw comes to second. It bounces away, and Money Mike comes through once again.
They know about that.
God bless you, Mike. Keep your game tight.
Never know. You know what I'm saying? I got a little razzle-dazzle.
Little razzle-dazzle indeed. He smoked that through the hole. Right side of the second base bag, just past the diving attempt of the second baseman, Amador. Ball came into second base. It hit. I don't know who's. That must have been Ozzie Albies' helmet. The helmet was standing at second base. And Ozzie, it's Ozzie's helmet. He lost his batting helmet around the second base bag, and the ball came in and bounced and hit his helmet. And the ball kicked away. So any chance they had of getting Ozzie at the plate went by the wayside when it hit his own helmet way back at second base. We'll be back at a flash pitching change here in the Rockies. The Braves have grabbed a 2-run lead. Let's get it. On this date, 1901, at Chicago's South Side Park, Cleveland, who will be known as the Bluebirds that year, previously the Lake Shores, Furniture Makers, and Buckeyes, and by next year the Broncos, followed by the Cleveland Naps, Indians, and now Guardians. They will collect 23 singles as the team coasts to a 13-1 victory over the Chicago White Sox. Chicago's hurler, Brock Baker, gives up all of the one-base hits, which is a major league record. On this date in 1929, the Boston Red Sox lose to the Philadelphia Athletics 7-3 in the first ever Sunday home game. Due to Fenway's proximity to the church and the resulting of protesters, the historic contest takes place 1 mile west of its home to its crosstown rivals ballpark at Braves Field. And on this date, 1934, at Navin Field, Goose Goslin grounds out into 4 consecutive double plays. The Tigers outfielder, lack of offense doesn't matter as Detroit beats the visiting Indians 4-1. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Angel Travilli will be the pitcher coming into the game. The right-hander has a 5.40 ERA, 18% strikeout rate. First pitch on the way to the Book of Eli is 96 on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and brings it. Outside wide, 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves lead 5-3 after trailing 3-0. The 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1. Runner at second with 2 outs. Michael Harris the second, standing at second, so he's got good speed. Anything that gets down should score. The 2-1 swing, just gets a piece of it. 2-2. 2-2 count. Travilli looks over his right shoulder, brings it. Swing! That ball's a Baltimore chopper towards second. He's going to have to hurry with Eli running. He will just get him on a 4-3 putout, maybe by a half step. But now for your Atlanta Braves take a 2-run lead. We head to the bottom of 5. Leading 5-3.
I don't do ibuprofen. I do ibupuffin.
Damn! Look at you on my page again. Hi! I thought you didn't like me.
Dad,
Yeah.
you think I can take the truck out of town?
How far?
I don't know, like Yosemite?
Maybe, but this thing's been sitting for 4 years. You need to shake it down and make sure everything works before you take it far out of town. You're gonna get stuck on the side of the road with no cell service for 2 days. That'll set you straight.
You don't think I can survive on stuck on the side of the road for 2 days?
Well, you're kind of an indoor dog, so I'm gonna say no.
What does that mean?
You really want me to answer that? Jesus Christ, man.
Alright, look, what if I brought like 5 friends?
Then there'd be 6 of you idiots stuck on the side of the road.
Now to bring up Bob Gibson. The pitch by Lonborg. Swung on. A long drive, deep left center, way back. It might be out of here. It is a home run for Bob Gibson.
Gibson won it easily, 7-2, and added insult to injury by hitting a home run of his own.
Joins the list of pitchers who have hit home runs in World Series competition.
In 3 complete series games, he gave up just 14 hits, something no one else had done since Christy Mathewson in 1905. Boston canceled its victory parade. It was a great World Series, but that year more people had watched professional football's first Super Bowl than any series game. Baseball was now said to be too leisurely, too serene to be the national pastime.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. Bryce Elder go back to work, leading by 2 now. First pitch on the way. Good sinker right there at the knees. Slaps the black on the outer edge to Brendan Doyle. It's a 1. The 0-1. Just misses. I swear there are times where you see as the 1-1 swing pops it up high in the sky. Eli White coming in, running, making a catch on the dead run for a high out number 1. That wind is doing havoc out there on everybody. There are times where you see the 2023 All-Star version of Bryce Elder and it gives you hope. Though he gave up that 3-run home run in the first, other than that, he's pitched pretty darn well, especially considering he's in this stadium. First pitch on the way is down and in. It's 1-0. He's never going to be a strikeout guy. But there's still room for a guy in this league that can get you out via the ground ball. 1-0. Right there. Misses. We'll take it. It's 1-1. So 1-1 count. Smurf sets up outside, smacks the outer edge with the 91-mile-an-hour sinker. 1-2. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Down and away. 2-2. Slider misses. 2-2 count. Elder brings it. Ball's chopped over towards short. Allen's got it. He'll flip it over to first. And it's a 6-3 putout, 2 away. One thing about this stadium that you know, even though this Rockies roster isn't exactly what you would consider top-notch nowadays, no lead is safe. You have to keep putting runs on the board. Two outs. McMahon, the batter, has walked his first 2 time up. Scored one on the first time off the 3-run homer by the man standing on deck, Goodman. First pitch misses high and inside. It's 1-0. 1-0. Right there at the knees. Sinker. 1-1 count. Elder really going back to work quickly. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky, Verdugo fighting that wind. He will make that catch, and that'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3. We head to the 6th. Allen, and then the top of the lineup rolls over again. Let's get it, Braves country.
Who knew you weren't supposed to snort BC powder? Like, why is it coming in a form like that? Because I was at work one day, and I had a massive headache, and I ain't have no Advil or nothing, and my coworker was like, I got this BC powder, and I was like, why do they make Advil in a powder form? And he brings it to me, and it's like in this little package with the powder inside, and I'm like, that's strange. And never in my life. And so, you know, I take it, and then all of a sudden, I get the weirdest look from this dude, and he's like, what the is wrong with you? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you're not supposed to do that. Well, what the are you supposed to do? And he was like, you eat it. And I was like, you eat powder? What? But it was just a look of confusion on his face, like, bro, you judging me for this? Why would you just hand me some like this and not tell me I'm supposed to eat it? Like, what did you think I was? Am I wrong? Am I the problem?
I said, if you don't go get 3 outs, they're going to send you to the minor leagues. And with tears in his eyes, he said, I don't care if I ever get another win. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. I can still see his face.
Now we'll see what Greg Maddux does. Santiago's hit by a pitch, and he is ejected. Here we go again.
He hit him. He got sent down to the minors, and I think he had the minimum 15 days or whatever it was. He was back in the big leagues, and he never saw that minor league bus again after that.
I certainly would have lost a ton of respect if I didn't hit anybody. That was way more valuable than any win I could have ever gotten.
So what Greg Maddux might have lost today, in the long run, might have helped him as far as the view his teammates held toward him.
I don't know what it meant to everybody, but I know what it meant to Andre Dawson. And there was a day Greg Maddux was pitching against Nolan Ryan, and a couple of our big boys weren't in the lineup. Hawk grabbed a Sharpie and wrote their names in the lineup.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that happened.
Everybody in the clubhouse knew that Hawk was just trying to do something to repay Greg for standing up for him.
Welcome back. Nick Allen will lead us off. First pitch on the way to little Nicky is down below the knees. For a ball, it's 1-0. Allen 1 for 2 with a swinging bunt single in the 4th inning. 1-0. Swing, chops it back up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. His second base hit of the night. So if you took Nicky to click, that click clacked. Good piece of hitting by Allen. Hard chopper back through the hole. Right through the 4-6 hole and over the second base bag. One on, nobody out, top of the order. Verdugo spits on the first pitch he's thrown. It's 1-0. Chavilli, they can go and get him anytime because he started last inning, but he's set to face Verdugo, Riley, and Ozuna next. Runner goes. Allen takes off. He looks like he's going to be out. He's out. I don't have to see that again. I don't know if he got a bad jump. He's got pretty good speed. Oh, yeah, that was not a good jump at all. I think he was just banking on the fact that Stallings isn't known as a good defensive catcher. I'm sure that went over in the meetings today, that if you get a chance to run on it, you got to get a jump. First pitch on the way after that is in the dirt, wouldn't you know it. Goes to the backstop, so Allen, he slaps the side of the dugout railing, knowing that he'd be standing at second right now. I mean, he was out by a mile. The 2-1, outside wide 3-1. I don't get too mad when these guys get into, get thrown out like that. I understand what they're doing, but I just prefer that you see them make a good. If you get thrown out on a good jump, fair enough. The 3-1 chops it over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 put out to away. So if you play that forward, and obviously you're not always going to get the same pitch, but if Allen had not tried to steal and gone to second on the wild pitch, he'd be standing at third right now with one out. But instead, there's two down, nobody on, and Austin Riley will come to the plate. He's 1 for 3. First pitch swinging. Slider. Coming out of his shoes on that one, it's a 1. Chivilli just 13 pitches. The 0-1. Inside 1-1. 1-1 count. Swing. That ball is ripped over towards second. Good defensive play by the second baseman over there, Amador. They had him played perfectly. That'll end the inning on a 4-3 putout. Braves get one on, but run themselves out of trouble. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
At least I'm a fun hot mess. Like a train wreck full of pizza, fireworks, and glitter.
Y'all, back when I was a kid, I could jump out of a swing mid-air and land on my feet, no problem. Now when I sleep on the wrong pillow, I wake up feeling like I fell out of a 12th-story window.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac McGee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
If your child is performing poorly during a recital, stop recording them in the middle of their performance so that they will see what a disappointment they are to you. To save face around the other parents, tell them you're just practicing for when your child gets on stage.
And as the first game began, the Braves took an early lead.
The Braves break the scoring ice.
And then Dodger manager Walter Alston acted quickly, making the boldest of moves. He brought in his ace reliever Larry Sherry in the second inning.
Well, he's the boss. He's going to pick whoever he wants, and he knows Larry wants to come in. And Larry wants to pitch.
Sherry made Alston's gamble pay off as he completely shut the Braves down.
He knew he could do it, and he wanted to do it, and he did it.
And then Johnny Roseboro homered, and the Dodgers ended up with an improbable 3-2 victory.
First pitch on the way from Bryce Elder is right there for a strike to Goodman on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Goodman, who hit the 3-run home run, takes the 0-1 outside wide sinker, misses. 1-1. Dodgers and Marlins are just underway. They're scoreless in the bottom of the first. 1-1. Chops it foul. 1-2. Goodman, Toglia, and Moniak are due up in this inning. The 1-2. Swing, pops it back foul. Do it again. Goodman hit a 3-run home run, a 402-foot blast into left field seats. And he struck out swinging his last time up. A 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smoke him if you got him. He got him. One away. Good slider there. One of his better sliders to the right-handers with 2 outs. That one bent well out of the strike zone. But if you're a right-hander up there with 2 strikes, that ball is starting on the outer part of the zone, and by the time it takes a left turn away from you, it's too late to hold up. First pitch on the way to Toglia is right there for just misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty, lefty, the 1-0 swing, lifted into right field. That's down for a base hit. A 1-out single for Toglia, and the tying run will come to the plate. 1 on, 1 out. Moniak, who's 1 for 2. Single to center his last time up. The left-hander stands at the plate and takes the first pitch. Sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swing, rips it to right field, going up against the wall, making the leaping catch is the Book of Eli. He went airborne and made the catch. One hell of a play. Wowza, 2 down. Book of Eli a leaping grab, perfectly timing that. Came down and tapped the wall. He appears to be okay. Wow. First pitch on the way to Stallings is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. That was a heck of a catch by Eli, and the wherewithal to come down on a perfect landing, turn around and look for the runner. The 1-0 swing, pops it back down the line, foul. First base side, 1-1. You can't do that play justice because not only was it a heck of a catch, he doesn't play in the stadium every day. I mean, he had to really go off a field hoping he wasn't about to crash into that wall. The 1-1 swing, rips it over to Riley. Riley's got it. He'll fire it over to first, and that'll end the inning. So a little heart pounding, but we got out of it. 5-3 on the putout. We come back. Ozuna, Olsen, Ozzie coming to the dish.
What you doing?
In the car.
Okay, so I have a question. So if you were a hot dog man and you were selling hot dogs, how would you sell hot dogs?
Hot dog. You want a hot dog? Come get hot dogs. Pickles, like ketchup, mustard, and pickles. I don't like ketchup.
Nobody gonna buy hot dogs from you.
Get the hell out of my...
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Oh, son hit it too. Where we waiting for? Where we waiting for? Where we waiting from, bro? Gas prices.
Somebody explain this to me. But on a Chevrolet, why does the symbol look like a maxi pad?
Time in the course of a ball game is critically important. A baseball game does not rush by with the blur of action of basketball or hockey. It doesn't exist in these sort of spasms the way that it does in football, where everything is lost in the crash and clash of helmets and pads. Instead, we spend most of our time at a ball game pondering inaction. We are sitting there while the third baseman is standing 7 or 8 feet off the bag. The batter steps out of the batter's box and he lifts the bat behind his head. Pitcher steps off the mound, blows on his fingers. That's the action of baseball. It's the absence of action. What it does is it pulls us to the edges of our chairs. It pulls us to that point of anticipation. It pulls us to wondering what's going to happen and playing the game in our mind before it plays on the field itself.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. The first pitch on the way to Ozuna from Chiavelli. Down and away for a ball, it's 1-0. He's out there for what's essentially his third inning, though he's thrown just 1 1/3. 1-0, down and in. Ozuna misses. 2-0. That's probably all she wrote for Elder. He looks like he might be done for the day. Reading his report. 2-0. Right there for a strike. 2-1. With 2-1 count, Ozuna 1 for 2 with a sac fly, a run scored, and an RBI. Elder's at 90 pitches, so they could bring him back out as the 2-1. Four-seamer, 98 miles an hour, smacks the edge, 2-2. if that's it for Elder, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. It does look like that Pierce Johnson, who's very familiar with this park, it used to be his home, is warming up. The 2-2, inside 3-2. 3-2 count, top of the 7th. Here on Braves Country. Appreciate you spending your Monday evening here with Braves Country. Please subscribe and smash that like. Become a Country Club member today. The payoff, swing, just got a piece of it. Might have chased ball 4 on that one, but it was really close. Blazers called a good game so far today. No one's perfect, but by the way, the last game, Sunday's game, I pulled up that card, 90% accuracy as they check on Jacob Stolling. That ball smacked off the ground. I think it got him in the mask. He appears to be okay. And this isn't like a spelling bee where 90% accuracy is pretty good. That's a terrible rating. So we weren't imagining it yesterday. Blazer, by the way, he ranks in the top 12 in all of Major League Baseball for home plate umpire calling. The 3-2, swing, hits it over to third. Should be an easy 5-3 put out. A little bit of a bad throw, but Ozuna jogging down there gingerly will be out by a mile, 1 away. One down. You wonder why he's not hustling. A, remember he had that hip inflammation recently. I still don't think he's right on that. And B, they've told him many a times, don't go all out unless the game is on the line. First pitch on the way is a ball outside to Olsen. It's 1 out. Matt Olsen, 1 for 3 on the day. 1-0. Lower the knees, 2-0. 2-0 count. He normally hits pretty well in this park. Braves lead it 5-3, top of 7. The 2-0 pitch to Matty. Down and in, 3-0. Infield is back and to the right. The outfield is deep and straight away. The 3-0. Down below the knees, ball 4. So he didn't want any part of the ice house. He'll head to first. 1 on, 1 out, and Ozzie Albies will come to the plate. Ozzie 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch on the way. He's in the dirt. Gets away. Olsen will scoot on down to second base. That'll be a wild pitch on Chivilli. We've got a runner in scoring position with 1 out. That ball rolled all the way to the backstop. No chance for Stalling to make a play on that. Just shot underneath his legs. Well, you almost wonder if he's having some ill effects of that ball smacking him in the face. The 1-0, swing, chops it over to second. Easy 4-3 put out. Olsen will head over to third, but there are 2 down. So 2 down. That just means that a wild pitch could score the runner now. Or an error. Balk a number of different ways when you get all the way to third. 1 on, 2 out. Murphy, the batter. First pitch, swinging, rips it into center field. That'll get through for a base hit. And the Smurf, RBI single, big clutch hit here in the top of the 7th inning. The Braves have now extended their lead to 3. It's 6-3. Big insurance run by the Smurf. They went down the pipe and he inside out of that pitch and slapped it just right at the second base bag past the diving Amador at second. Ball was cut off by Doyle. And Murphy stands at second. First pitch on the way to Harris. Changeup misses. It's 1-0. Braves 6, Rockies 3. Good piece of hitting by Murphy there. The 1-0. This is outside 2-0. Close pitch, but I do think he made the right call. 2-0 count. Same two teams back at it tomorrow night. 8:40 first pitch, the 2-0. Below the knees. Ooh, low strike. Low strike, 2-1. To be fair, that last pitch was a borderline, so that might have just evened itself out. There is a right-hander warming up in the Rockies bullpen. The 2-1. Inside. 2-2. The two very borderline pitches going the way of the right-hander Chivilli. Two 2-1 count. The pitch in the dirt, ball gets away. Smurf will scoot on up to second base, and he'll get in scoring position now. Another wild pitch by Chivilli, second of the inning. Full count. That's Jake Bird warming up in the bullpen, by the way. Payoff pitch. Swing! Chops it off his foot. Harris will hop away. Appears to be okay. Braves lead by 3, but once again, you cannot have enough runs in Colorado. You have to keep pushing, keep pushing. Dodgers do lead the Marlins 1-0. Braves came into today 7 behind New York because they won today, so we would go to 6.5 if we won tonight. The 3-2 pops it up high in the sky. Can of corn, very shallow left field, coming in making the catch is Beck, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put one more on the board. 7th inning stretch time. Get up and stretch, Braves country. Bottom of the 7th we go. Ian Anderson joined the Braves today, and Eddie Rosario if you missed the news. Pierce Johnson will come on here. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Trejo is 94. Smacks the black on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Remember when everybody got in arms? Do you remember that at the beginning of the season when the Braves traded Ian Anderson out to the Angels? Basically said we got hosed on the deal as the 1-0. Outside wide. Misses 1-1. Well, the Braves since have DFA'd Suarez when they DFA'd Ian Anderson, and we grabbed Ian Anderson. The 1-1. Down and away. Did he go around? He did. It's 1-2. Check down on the first base side. The 1-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. Anderson, I would think you wouldn't see unless this game turned into a rout tonight. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. The expectation is that A.J. Smith-Shawver will be announced as the starter after tonight's game because they have to make a coinciding move with that, the 2-2. Outside wide, no count. So a 3-2 count, because as of right now, he's not on the active roster. The payoff pitch. Caught, looking strike 3. P at the knees, 94. Sit down, son. One away. I'm just interested to see if that's what they actually do or if they end up putting in Anderson out there in what essentially would become a bullpen game. Because the argument against putting Shawver out there tomorrow is a guy you're trying to develop and you put him out there in Colorado. That's a dicey move. First pitch on the way to Amador's a curveball up there for a strike. It's 0-1. Now, he deserves a shot, don't get me wrong, but you just wonder if they may wait. 0-1. Swung on, chopped foul. 0-2. Now, the argument for it is he's going up against a pretty spotty starting pitcher. The Braves offense is playing well, and you don't really want to hold him for the series against the Dodgers, because I don't care where you play the Dodgers, you can play them on Pluto. You don't want a youngster going up against them. The 0-2 misses high, 1-2. Amador, number 9 hitter. The wind is now howling out of the stadium. Looks like it's going pretty close to dead center, maybe a touch to the left. The 1-2, swing, pops it up. High in the sky, drifting over, making the catch is Michael Harris II. He calls off Eli, 2 away. 2 down. Kid Kelnick was sent down, for those who may have missed it, to Gwinnett. And the number one reason for that, it's not because Eddie Rosario is a better player than Kid Kelnick right now. As the first pitch is a cutter at the knees, it's, I don't know, just misses the zone of the door. But it's more has to do with the fact that they want him getting everyday at bats, and he's not going to do that when he's struggling up top in the big leagues. The 1-0's foul back 1-1. Top of the order for the Rockies, so if he gets on, it'll be Beck and then McMahon. There are 2 outs. Looked like Dylan Lee was getting warm in the bullpen. The 1-1 swing, that ball's lifted. Not very deep, though, into left field, coming in. Man, that wind is just whipping around out there in left field. There's debris and everything out there. 1-2-3, Pierce Johnson cuts him down in order. We'll be back in a flash with the Book of Eli.
Here's to alcohol, because no good story has ever started with a salad. Cheers.
Dad?
Yep.
The fans and followers want to know why you caved with my sister.
What are you talking about?
You bet her $100 to quit vaping for 2 weeks. Then you found out she cheated with Zippix sticks, and you paid her anyways.
Did you know the bet before we did it?
Yes.
And did any time during the bet when we set up the rules did I say she couldn't use a nicotine stick or nicotine gum?
Well, no.
Okay, then she won, fair and square. What's the big deal?
Well, technically she won, but everyone thinks you should have stuck to your guns and not paid her at all.
Oh, so I'm supposed to tell my daughter that she cheated even when she didn't, and then you guys want me to welch on the bet so her dad, she learns the lessons that her dad welches on bets too. That's the advice of your fans and followers?
People still think you caved either way.
Well, it is really important what other people think about the way I parent.
It is?
No, not even a little bit. Get the out of here.
Back in Los Angeles for the second game, the Braves showed their championship pedigree as they knocked out Don Drysdale and took a 5-2 lead into the ninth inning. And with the unflappable Lou Burdett on the mound, the game seemed over. But then, like an echo from the past, the old boys of summer roared to life. Snyder and Hodges delivered key hits, knocking Burdett out of the game, and Ferrillo tied it with a sacrifice fly.
Gil Hodges comes in with a tying run, and the Dodgers are anything but dead.
We just got some momentum at the end. And then, with the score tied in the 12th, they reached back one more time.
The Cinderella team of the National League, for the first time in history, a seventh-place club has come back to win the pennant the following year.
We had no business beating them.
Welcome back. Jake Bird, the pitcher, fires the first pitch, a slider below the knees, but called for a strike. It's 0-1. Bird comes on with a 1.08 ERA and 11 appearances. He's not too shabby, the 0-1. Swing, chops it over to short. 6-3 put out. Eli down on 2 pitches, 1 away. That'll bring Nick Allen to the plate. He's 2 for 3. Two singles and an RBI. First pitch. Nasty slider up top. I can see why he's got a low ERA. That's pretty good pitches he's thrown so far. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, lifts it into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So little Nicky is now 3 for 4 with an RBI. Not a single base hit has been hit over about 70 miles an hour. He's good for a 3 for 4 with an RBI. Alex Verdugo, your batter. First pitch. Down and in. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Huge hole on the right side with them holding on Allen. 1-0. Sinker at the knees, 1-1. Braves came into today 7 behind New York, which would even up to 6.5 if they held on here. They would also move within a game and a half of the Philadelphia Phillies in the division. 1-1. Slaps the outer edge, 2-1. In the wild card race, they came in 2.5 behind Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and Arizona. 1 behind Washington, 1 behind Milwaukee, and even with the Nationals. Verdugo fouls that ball straight back. It's 1-2. Washington lost today, which made them even with the Braves. They got crushed by the Mets. The 1-2, outside wide, 2-2. What was the final like that? There was just an absolute obliteration. Last time I saw it was 19-5, and it wasn't that close. Tells you what kind of a day that the Mets had. Brandon Nimmo had 3 home runs. The 2-2, inside, full count. That one almost got him. The final in that game, it was 19-5, okay. He had 3 home runs in like the 7th inning. I had it on the back. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was getting ready for the broadcast, but I could hear it. And it was funny because the Mets announcers kept getting very excited. I was like, man, what is going on over there? As the game getting closer, they know they're just pummeling the Nationals. Bird flips it over to first to try to get Allen leaning off the edge, but he's back underway. The out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. Astros 8-5 over the Tigers. Reds 3-1 over the Cardinals. Tell you what, that was a really close play. He got back underneath the tag, but it was close. Reds 3-1 over the Cardinals. Orioles held on to beat the Yankees 4-3. They were up 4-0 in the first couple innings of that. Twins 11-1 over the Guardians. That's a final. They throw it over again. Man, he is getting close to getting them. That's his last move over there. Next time he's got to get him or it's a balk. Remember, Nick Allen got caught stealing. He was leaning on that last throw over there. Mets 19-5 over the Nationals, and then as the 3-2 pitch swung on, runner goes, pops it up high into shallow left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That is one of the most shallow base hits that it has that much air on it I have ever seen in my life. Verdugo with the base knock, but that had to be wind aided.
What's going on? Blood pressure's coming up. The pulse is getting stronger. Get the OR ready. We've got a live one going and we want him to stay that way.
So runners on first and second, 1 out. First pitch on the way to Riley. It's a slider on the inner cut. It's on 1. They were playing Verdugo on to pull in the infield as the 0-1 inside. 1-1. They checked down the line. Did they call that a strike? I think that's what they're saying. It's 0-2. I don't think the intent was there, and that really should have played into the mindset of the umpire. But he gave him a strike. The 0-2. Swing. Pops it down the right field side. Foul. And that ball's going to fall. Another wind-aided blunder. So Riley will get a chance to tell the tale. That wind is absolutely scorching in from left field to right. And I just pulled it up. They're saying it's 28 miles an hour right now. But on the hit by Doogie, for those of y'all who couldn't see it, the infield was playing him to pull on the right side. The ball was popped up shallow left. The shortstop assumed it had enough to get out there to left field. The left fielder couldn't get there. As the 0-2's chopped back foul. Do it again. He ran all the way in from what was a deep position in left field, and the wind kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and the shortstop did not know the ball was coming in to him because it started up heading out there, and the wind just had that much force to it. The 0-2 swing, chops it foul. 1-2. 1-2 count. If this score holds, the 0-2 swing, chops it foul. Will be a game and a half behind Philadelphia. Arizona, Milwaukee, as they were all on the sidelines today. The 0-2 swing, hits it hard up the middle, backhanded over to short. He'll get the 6-4 put out. Riley will beat out the throw to first base, and we've got runners on the corners and 2 outs. Hard hit ball. Good play over there by their shortstop, Trejo. He had to go to his backhand, spin from his knee, fire it over to second. No real chance of Amador to get the runner down at first. He probably should have stuck it in his back pocket. He's just asking for an error to show up there. It's Marcell Ozuna, the batter. He's 1 for 3. Of course, what he does best could be really hard to do right now with that wind whipping in. First pitch, 95 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Set outside. Down and away, 1-1. Slider misses. They're expecting fairly cool temperatures tomorrow night as well, but then Wednesday, it's supposed to get up into the 70s with the day game here at Coors. So, the 1-1 pitch, outside wide, did he go around? He rang him up too, 1-2. I think first base umpire out there, Alex Tosi, I think he's getting a little nipply out there. He's wanting to hurry this game up. So a 1-2 to Ozuna, who's 1 for 3 with a sac fly, RBI, run, and single. Slider misses outside, 2-2. Braves lead at 6-3. They trailed 3-0 at the end of the first inning after a 3-run home run, but have come charging back. Take a 3-run lead. 2 in the third is the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. No 8th inning magic for the Braves tonight, but we've got a 3-run lead. Just got to hold it.
Helps that you're gorgeous.
Bleh. Brr. No, that's crazy. That ain't real. That's dumb. That's straight dumb. You're dumb. You're nice.
Some of y'all clearly never had a good switching as a kid, because every time I look at a birch bush, my toes curl up. Ugh. Or a wooden spoon. Ugh.
This is the career of Louis Tia. In 1968, while a member of the Indians, he led the American League in ERA, shutouts, hits per 9, strikeouts per 9, and opponent batting average. His 1.60 ERA was the lowest in the American League in nearly half a century. In 8 seasons with the Red Sox, he won 122, of which 113 were complete games. He finished his career with 16 3-hitters, 10 2-hitters, and 3 1-hitters. Over his career, he won 229, had a 3.30 ERA, and won 2 ERA titles.
2 seasons later, the Phillies made another big push for a championship, bringing in 2 more aging stars from Cincinnati's Big Red Machine, Joe Morgan and Tony Perez, which earned the 1983 Phils the nickname the Wheeze Kids.
Mike, what was your reaction when you learned that the Phillies would have Joe Morgan and Pete Rose in the same infield?
Well, Joe, I'm very excited about that, and the chance to play with Joe Morgan, Tony Perez, Pete Rose, all in the same team. A bunch of old guys, so to speak. That's a big theme of our team this year, that everybody's too old to win. I think we're going to show everybody that they age like fine wine.
The Wheeze Kids ultimately proved they still had life yet, with the Phillies winning the NL East, and then defeating the Dodgers in the LCS, with Schmidt hitting almost 500 in the series.
Mike, you had a great LCS. I think you hit around 500, probably your best. Would you say your best LCS?
Well, would I say? All you got to do is look at the statistics, and I'd have to say yes. Anytime you think you have the game conquered, the game will turn around and punch you right in the nose.
Daysbel Hernandez. He'll come on for the 8th inning. First pitch on the way. 97 right down the pipe to the number 2 hitter Beck. It's 0-1. Heart of the order for the Colorado Rockies. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 98 miles an hour. It's 0-2. Infield's playing a little shallower than normal, and that's got a lot to do with that wind. The 0-2. Swung on and fouled away. We'll do it again. That one was 98 miles an hour. Not a whole lot of fans here in the stands. The 0-2 swung on. That ball's ripped into left field. Down for a base hit, taking a long turn. Here comes the throw to second. He will get in there with the head first slide back. Put on a pretty good display of hitting tonight. It's the second double of the night. And if you think that Verdugo's error shouldn't have been an error, it'd be his third double. All three of those balls have been scorched off the bat. First pitch on the way to McMahon. A four-seam fastball, 94 in on the hands, fouls it back. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Fastball misses high. 1-1. No lead is safe here in Colorado. So don't go anywhere. 3 runs is nothing in this stadium, even with the wind. So much real estate to cover from foul line to foul line. The 1-1, swing and a miss. 1-2. If you're the Braves defense, you're not too concerned about the runner at second. Though you'd like to keep them from scoring in this inning. You'll trade a run for an out if it comes up that way. Dodgers lead the Marlins 2-0 there in the third, the 1-2. 98 inside. Evens up the count at 2-2. Can't start walking, folks. The 2-2 count. 98 misses high and wide, ball 3-3-2. And we've seen this before in this stadium. Remember last year we had an 8-3 lead in the 8th inning and couldn't hold it. The payoff pitch misses high, ball 4. So Daysbull Hernandez has given up a double, a hard hit double, and now walks the next man he sees. He's yet to record an out. Braves lead by 3, but the tying run is out the plate. And it is in the form of Goodman, who is the man who hit the 3-run homer earlier. All 3 runs credited to the man coming to the plate. He could tie it with another 3-run home run. The wind is blowing in now, so it's going to be a little more difficult, but here's the first pitch. Swung on, foul back out of play. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. After Smurf had a quick powwow with him out there. The 0-1, swung on, chops it foul. Down the third base side, it's 0-2. The 0-2 count. His 13th pitch of the inning is yet to record an out. The 0-2, swing, lifted into right center field, coming in, making the running catches, the Book of Eli. He'll flip it back in, 1 away. Just off the end of the bat there, I was worried that wind was going to knock it down for a seeing eye single. Good job by Eli to read that all the way off the bat. Two on, 1 out, and Toglia, the left-handed power hitting prospect from the Rockies, takes the first swing at the first pitch. Slider down and in. It's 0-1. 2 home runs on the year, but he's really picked up the pace his last 8 games. His first 18 games, we went over it earlier, but they were horrendous. The 0-1, down and in, 1-1. Slider misses nowhere near the zone. Toglia is 1 for 3 with the single in the 6th. One from Daysbel. Right there, good slider. Best one he's thrown so far, 1-2. Standing on deck is Moniak. Stallings would be the next batter, but they may pinch hit for him. 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. 2-2 count, nibbling around the corners. He now has 17 pitches in this inning. 2 on. A 2-2 count. Deuce is wild here in the Rockies. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. And they are really trying to sell that Wiley Ballard as a good guy now. They did a whole bit there for about 20 minutes where he was interviewing kids. That's the guy that got busted as the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the slider down and into away. He's the kid that got busted, that went viral when he was hitting on the blonde. They were on I want to say Toronto. Anyways, he was being egged on by the play-by-play and color commentator on TV. A little surprised that they didn't get their hands wrapped on by the ruler. First pitch on the way is a slider down and in. It's 0-1. But they were really selling it. I mean, it was like 20 minutes. I kept seeing them. Had him sitting there interviewing kids with like a taco on his head and everything. I'm like, man, you were just trying too hard. 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. Righty, lefty. The pitch. Swing and a miss, slider down and in. 1-2. He's lucky that didn't take place in the height of the Me Too era, because I'm telling you, he's very fortunate he didn't get canned for that. He's not even one of their A-plus guys. The 1-2. Misses, 2-2. I'm thinking that his dad knows somebody. Most people are getting canned over that. The 2-2. Did he go around 98 down the pipe? I'm going to say he did, and that's a little ridiculous because all the check swings that we've been rang up on tonight, and that was right there. Let me get another look at this. I mean, it's right there. I'm not saying it's definitely a go-around, but there were a couple that Riley and a couple others I have in my head made less of an effort and got a strike. The 3-2, swing, rips it over to Olsen. He'll make the catch. That's karma, baby. Karma in the books. We'll head to the 9th, clinging to a 3-run lead in Rocky Land.
Do Irish people love being miserable all the time? Yeah, we do. It's good, clean fun. But yeah, I'll complain about your nephew who I never met and tell people what I think he should be doing with his life. I'll sit down on my chair over there for an hour and be absolutely outraged about the Germans, thinking they can steal drinking from the Irish. Positivity will only get you so far. I encourage you, sit down on front of the fire with a nice cup of tea and think about how your best friend doesn't deserve the car that he has, because he does for nothing. It's good for you. We might be a bit cantankerous, but that's what allows us to go out and have a bit of crack in the evening.
As the 1959 World Series got set to open on the south side of Chicago, for the first time in 40 years, there was a feeling of joyful anticipation.
When you're in the minor leagues for 8.5 years and you come and get in the World Series your first year, I really didn't even realize how fantastic a thing it was, seeing the police escorting all the banners up and crowds, just the glamour of it all.
The decade of the 50s had been a time of great stability on and off the field. The 60s would bring explosive change across the country, but baseball would continue to provide a welcome oasis of continuity. Just like the 50s, the role of the National League's premier team would fall to the Dodgers, who were only just beginning to win in Los Angeles. They would capture 3 pennants and 2 World Series in the 60s.
The Dodgers win 2-1 and sweep the series in 4 straight. Paul Bedlam breaks loose on the field.
The Braves' run as a powerhouse was at an end. They would take many years to reclaim World Series glory. The team would move to Atlanta in 1966 and would not win a championship until 1995.
The team of the 90s has its World Championship.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball off the edge. Called for a strike. Are you kidding me? It's 0-1. He called that a strike? That is way off the plate, the 0-1. Right there at the knees. 0-2. I don't have much problem with it if we get it called. No, okay, they didn't call. All right. That was the Braves. As the 1-1 swung on, lifted into center field. That'll die mainly because of the wind smacking it down. It'll be an F8 and your scorecard went away. That was the dopes in the television studio at FanDuel that used to be Bally's, that used to be. I didn't think it was. I was like, man, that was way off the plate, and Olsen didn't even bat an eye. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. So they did call that a ball. It was just the whatever intern they have running the station when they go on the road trips. The 0-1 outside misses 1-1. One count. Kicks and fires, outside wide 2-1. You like to get 1 or 2 more insurance runs, to be honest. Eyeglasses would be available, but if we could get a couple of runs here, we wouldn't have to use them tonight. The 2-1 count, swing and a miss. 3-1, or 2-2, excuse me. Braves looking to take the first game of this series. The sale due up on Wednesday sets them up nice to win another road series. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 97, chase 1 out and over the edge. 2 away. 2 down. We'll get it answered after the game tonight. Everyone believes it's most likely A.J. Smith-Shawver, but you do wonder if they may throw a curveball there because they have not used Ian Anderson, if they would do a bit of a bullpen game and save the rookie from having to pitch it in Colorado. First pitch on the way to Smurf is right there inside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Slider at the knees. Got the benefit of the doubt. It's 1-1. Smurf is 2 for 4 with 2 singles and RBIs, raises batting average to 241 with this performance. The 1-1 swing, slaps it foul and out of play. 1-2. He's got 7 home runs on the year and now 14 RBI. His OPS is 1,008. And that's not nothing. The 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. He held up on the swing. Dodgers lead the Marlins 2-0. That game is in the 4th. And we are the only other game that's currently going on. All the rest are in the books. The 2-2. Down and away, called strike 3. Smurf doesn't like it. It was a bad call. But Smurf wants those calls when we come back. We need 3 more outs. The bullpen doors opening it up, and it should be eyeglass time here in Braves country.
Hey, does anybody else feel angry as hell whenever somebody's in the kitchen at the same time as you? Or is it just me?
This is the absolute chaotic career of Doc Ellis. He once pitched a no-hitter under the influence of LSD. In 1971, he finished 4th in Cy Young voting after finishing with a 19-9 record and a 3.06 ERA. During a game in 1974, he attempted to hit every batter in the Reds lineup and would only make it through 4 of them before the manager pulled him from the game. That same year, he won 8 consecutive games in 9 out of 10, pitching 7 complete games in that 10-game stretch. He admitted that wearing curlers produced sweat on his hair that he used to throw a modified version of the spitball. During the 1975 season, he was asked to pitch out of the bullpen. He refused not once, not twice, but 3 times before they suspended him for 1 game. After joining the Yankees in 1976, he won Comeback Player of the Year, winning 17 games, which was good for 8th in the American League. While pitching for the Oakland A's, he was asked to keep charts. Instead, he set them on fire inside the clubhouse, which in turn set off the sprinkler. All in all, Doc Ellis had a pretty great career, hitting double digits in wins in 8 of his 12 seasons. Not only that, he finished with a very respectable 3.46 ERA. Although his career had its ups and downs, I think it's safe to say he had a pretty successful career and shouldn't be just remembered for 1 no-hit.
1967. It was a tumultuous year and a decade of change. In the grip of often unsettling social unrest, America would see outbreaks of violence and eruptions of youthful rebellion.
1967 was one of the most unique years in American history, with everything was going on, a civil rights movement, a hippie movement, free love, tremendous unhappiness at the Vietnam War.
But despite all the turmoil, there was still baseball to be played, and for the players, playing the game was as important as ever.
Go back to any of the wars, any of the economies. It's a place where people can go and simply relax and to forget all their troubles and just concentrate on an afternoon of entertainment.
Welcome back. Braves lead at 6-3. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 7, 8, 9 are due up. Martini is coming in to hit for Stallings. Nick Martini, 2 RBIs and a 241 average. First pitch on the way from eyeglasses. Raisel Iglesias is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Quickly back to work, the 0-1. 93 up top, 0-2. 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing, lifts it. High into right field, running in. Making the catch is the Book of Eli. One away. F9 in your scorecard. Raisel Iglesias. He's had a couple of bad outings this season. An ERA at 6.3 coming in. He does have 4 saves and a whip at 1.1. First pitch on the way. Slider misses inside. It's 1-0. 35-year-old from Cuba. 1-0. Swung on, lifted into left field. Coming in, making the running catch is Michael Harris II. 75% of the world is covered by water. The rest by the Hawk. 2 away. 2 down. And this would be great if he could get another. He's known for these quick outings. Wish I had the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to misquote them, but in the last 4 or 5 years, the first pitch on the way swung on. That ball's lifted deep into center field. It's going to go off the wall. Harris will get it off the walls. It caroms, fires it back into the infield, and it's a 2-out double for Amador and the Rockies. That ball was pounded. The wind's not blowing in, that thing's gone. I mean, he got way too much of the plate. So 1 on, 2 out in the top of the order back up. Brenton Doyle. First pitch. 93 changeup. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Doyle 0 for 4 on the day. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Slider. 0-2. So the Rockies are down to their last strike. Runner at second. 2 outs. The 0-2. Swing. Caught. Looking. Strike 3. He caught the outer paint. Buckled him with the slider, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. Braves win it 6-3. Six runs, 14 hits, 1 error for the Braves. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Colorado Rockies. Player of the game that gets the game ball. Well, tonight, I don't know how many times we've done this before. We're going to give it to Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder goes 6 innings, 4 strikeouts. He walked 2, scattered 5 hits. But he had a big-time start in Colorado, and that's not nothing. He also preserved the bullpen. We only had to use 3 innings out of the bullpen, which could be big later in this series. Tomorrow night, Braves, Rockies, same bat time, same bat channel. 8:40 first pitch. We'll come on the air around 8 o'clock and get you ready for Braves and Rockies. They'll announce the starter soon. As soon as we know it, we'll put it in the chat in tomorrow night's game. I'm assuming it's the SSAJ, but you never know. Y'all have a great night, Braves country. Braves win it 6-3. Bryce Elder with the game ball.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
It is the American game. That's just what it is. And actually, I can feel like I'm 15 when I'm talking baseball. I'm watching baseball. This is it. It does this. It can do this to any. It brings you back.